Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, and also happy Friday to everyone. I'm using the basic StreamYard again for some reason. Payment is not going in, but that's not going to hinder tonight's episode. So I hope you guys are doing well. And this evening is a bit of a treat for me because I haven't discussed much about Dream Theater. Probably one of the best bands I've heard ever since, and they are actually a big part of my musical influence as well. Big fan of Mike Portnoy as a drummer, sorry, and yeah, I've invited a guest also who is also a big fan of this band, and let me just welcome Mr. Mark Dwayne Abbott. Good evening.
Hey, good evening. Good evening, JM. And good evening to all the listeners. Really excited
W-
for all Dream Theater conversation
Oh
that we're
yeah,
going to have tonight.
this is actually very long overdue, sir. To be honest, tagal na natin
Yeah,
pinag-usapan to. But at least it happened in a very good time, a Friday. And yeah, let's go ahead and discuss first. But before we discuss it, let me just also get some information on also what you do, Mark.
sure.
I know that you have a page and you also have some awesome content, but what do you usually do in your page? What kind of interests do you have?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I am a music fan, a huge music fan. Ranging from bands, like Dream Theater to the Foo Fighters to the Beatles and everything in between. And sometimes I even listen to a little bit of K-pop thanks to my wife's influence because you can't really deny the melodies that they make through that. So essentially, my content is revolved around that. And ever since the pandemic started, I also dabble into a little bit of filmmaking. So the pandemic actually allowed, because usually the hours that I travel from um,
Work.
from home to work
Yeah.
is 4 hours every day. So that's
Oh,
2 hours going to work and 2 hours coming home to work. So when the pandemic happened, I had 4 hours free. So that's 4 hours that I can learn how to use the camera, learn about filmmaking and whatnot. So yeah, that allowed me to stretch my one of my lifelong passions as well is just to create videos. I didn't have that opportunity before, but in a way, that's one of the good things the pandemic has brought to me. So yeah, essentially the content is about. I started with food because my wife is a chef, but then it evolved into vocal covers and then
yeah.
guitar
Awesome stuff.
covers, yeah, and then bass covers and whatnot. But yeah, I am moving forward. I would love to do more on that space. So yeah, thanks you. You're showing my page already. So
Of course, man.
yeah, so I'm trying to mix both music and filmmaking. Yeah,
Yeah, do visit this page over at facebook.com. I'm sorry, MRKBT
yeah,
We are going to plug that again a bit later, but I'm also very excited for this conversation. I haven't talked about Dream Theater for quite a
yeah.
long time. And okay, so let's go ahead and start, Sir Mark.
Nice.
How did you discover Dream Theater before? Was
Wow,
it
that's
by word, or you just stumbled upon a CD or something?
that's a really good question. I think it was I think first year high school, or I think
Oh,
sixth grade, sorry. So that was around 1990, 1996. So I always tagged along uh, with our drummer from church, uh, who also studied in I think in the UP extension classes. His name is Glenn Balista.
mm,
Um, he plays drums now for a church called the Word of Hope. And
oh,
then before rehearsals for the worship team. I mean, he got out a tape, and I think that was images and words, and then they kind of played it in the background. But since at that time, I'm not sure if you're aware that sometimes in church you're not supposed to play secular music, so they tried
Yep.
to shield my ears from it. But the moment I heard the instruments playing and then the high pitched vocals, I asked him, "Hey, what's that? What kind of music is that? What band is that?" So that's when he showed me the album cover, Dream Theater Images and Words, and then they just stopped the music, and then I haven't heard any Dream Theater music until I was about to enter first year college.
Oh,
That's
okay.
when I was in a choir, and this one of the members of the choir said just told me, because he already knew that I was into like virtuosos, but more I was more in the jazz space because I grew up listening to jazz because of
Mm,
my father. So I was into Chick Corea, David Benoit, Lee Ritenour, those jazz virtuosos. So I knew of this bass player. I'm not sure. I'm sure you're familiar with him, John Patitucci.
yeah, of course. Mm.
He's a one of legendary bass players. So this a friend of mine who was in the who's in the choir with me. His name is actually, he's the drummer in part of a drummer in the one of the musicians that plays the accompanying music for the choir. His name is Mandy Singson, so I actually owe him a lot. So he told me, "Hey Mark, there's this kind of music that I know you love because it has a lot of technical, ins and outs." And then the guitar player is John Petrucci. Okay, so
Mm.
I misheard him as saying John Patitucci because they relatively sound the same. So, oh yeah, really, John Patitucci? And I said, I mean, John Patitucci has a new band. Let me hear it. And then the first song I heard, Overture 1928, and I was blown away. Oh man, John Patitucci is the one playing guitar here. And so that's where he corrected me. No, it's John Petrucci. And then that's the birth of my Dream Theater addiction, if you will. Overture 1928 was the one that started it all for me.
Wow. This is very, I don't know, telling because I'm going to share mine as well. It's being a prog head. I think I was exposed to progressive music even way back when I was a kid, but I
Oh
didn't
wow.
identify. I can't identify what prog is back then. I think the very first band that I got to listen to through my father's vinyl stuff like that. I think it was Yes, and
Wow.
the
Nice.
very first melody from Starship Trooper is actually still memorable until today for me because it's one of the very first prog songs that I got to listen to, and then some
Wow.
Genesis as well. I didn't even identify Genesis as a prog before because I really didn't know the genres.
Mm-mm.
So after that, um, then came in the rock phase and also rap phase. All of those
Yeah,
parts na pinakinggan natin from the 90s
that's
until
right. Yeah.
2000s. And then suddenly around early 2001, I came across a CD, and there is one of the tracks there was an instrumental, which really it resonated to me like just a click of a button. And the name of the track is Ergotomania. So
Oh,
when I discovered Ergotomania before, I had no knowledge about doing theater back then, and I researched a bit more. Oh yeah, this seems to be very very interesting music. A lot of intricacies and also excellent drum parts back then. And it's way
wow.
advanced for its time when I discovered that it was
Yeah,
made around 1992 or 1994.
yeah.
So, to cut the story short, I discovered that and then immediately bought a CD Recto, Tower Recto.
Oh
Um,
man,
I bought
cool.
the Awake CD, a copy of Awake, and then that immediately blew my mind away.
Oh man.
So
So it
this
was
is
both of us. No, our intro to Dream Theater was instrumentals,
instrumental song.
right?
Yeah, I didn't
Instrumental
even yeah,
songs.
even know that they had the vocals back then. But when I listened to Ergotomania over and over again until today, I still listen to that song.
Yeah,
It's a gateway that I had. It's very memorable. But after that, I also listened to I think it's Caught in the Web and then Innocence Faded.
yeah.
Also, I forgot the name. I haven't listened much of Awake recently. Scarred, Scarred,
Scarred.
and
Yeah,
also Lifting Shadows. Lifting Shadows of a Dream is actually one of my favorite ballads, rock ballads. So, like,
oh
it's one
wow.
of the best, and it's very amusing because I think the lyrics was written by John Mayang,
Yeah, the silent man himself.
Silent Man
The
himself.
silent man.
So moving forward, and then I went backwards. Well, not literally because there's only one significant album before that, which is Images and Words, and
Mm,
then I quickly discovered that oh yeah, so music was already advanced even way back then, 1992, and I
oh
enjoyed the
yeah,
entire those two albums would probably be in my top. It's always going to be competing, which would be my number one. Parang nabigay ko na yung hint ngayon. But
yeah.
it between those two. But I also enjoyed the other stuff, but more on the melodic side. So 6 Degrees, I also love. I'm sorry, the second album, 6 Degrees, because two albums on that one, and Black Clouds and Silver Linings is actually a guilty pleasure for me. And we both know why. We
Yeah,
both
yeah,
know
yeah,
why.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
later, let's go and talk about that one. But yeah, I enjoyed this one, and I actually love Mike Portnoy's drumming for the most part,
yeah.
and
I would
it's
have to
very
agree with that.
relatable. It seems very easy because he's more pattern based. When you
Yeah,
dissect his drum parts, it's more pattern based. But when you put it into application, damn, sobra hirap. It's still very
yeah.
hard. So yeah,
Absolutely.
and I enjoy all of their music, especially him and Petrucci, and also James Labrie's other solo projects. Very very
Yeah.
good. And yeah, I think that's our gateway. We are going to do the tier list in a few, but let's go.
Okay.
Mark, are you okay if we read some comments here because there's some interesting
Sure.
comments here? Yeah. So I have a friend from the US who's also a total metalhead. 32
Oh
flavors of
wow.
Mister Nick Weiser. He's a very big metal fan. Yeah, I think Mark would actually agree with that one since From the Memory probably one of the best albums. And Joan Tan, Pull Me Under. Yeah, sure.
Pull
But
me
thanks for
under.
being here also. Christian or Tizano. I'm not sure if these guys are your friends or
Yeah.
someone followers.
Joan Tan is my
Chris.
wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Welcome.
I'm gonna tell you
Welcome,
the
John.
story later how I turned her on to Dream Theater. She's a complete K-pop
Stan.
fanatic. I
Whatever.
mean,
Yeah. I mean,
180 degrees.
I was actually not really a big K-pop fan, but during the time when SNSD was a thing, 2009, I also enjoyed some of their songs. And my band, Project Material, we are going to take one of their songs and we will try to make a bit of a um, neo prog or prog style into it. And I'm just picking what song. I'm thinking of what song we're probably going to do as a cover. Chris Gomez from Ophidia, uh, he's also here. What a nice rainy Friday night to double and talk about DT. Chris, if you do have the time, you could probably join us if you do have the time. Just send me a link. But right now, Mark and I are going to discuss your favorite band as well. Train of Thought album lang sa pinakamaingay and also pinakamabigat na album ng DT. Just going to translate for the English audience because I have a couple right now. For Western audience, this means that his favorite album would be Train of Thought, and it's one of the heaviest and also one of the loudest albums DT has ever made. Darisman Chausen. Hey, good evening, good sir. Hope you enjoyed the Fusebox songs last week. And just tune in for more, I guess, Darius. And also, thanks for being here. I know it's around 6 a.m. over there, somewhere in the West Coast, I believe. But yeah, thanks for being here, Darius. Hope you enjoy also. If you do have any comments on who's your favorite, what's your favorite Dream Theater album, or song, just comment below. Happy to see talk about as well. Because your wife is. Oh yeah, RDR. I almost forgot about that. Let's see. Have you listened to this song, Mark? Run Devil Run? Not yet.
No, I haven't. I
I
haven't.
you should look into it later. It's very
Yeah, I
fun
will.
kasi it's more ano eh. This was actually the face na panay legs yung pinapakita ng ng SNSD before. They have the routine, the dance routine na panay legs yung nila. Ginagamit nila for the dance. It's very fun and also very entertaining as well. Okay, I'm G naman. Let's let me know. This time that's perfect. I'll send you over the link later, Chris, if you do have the time. Let's go ahead and discuss as well. Okay, it's almost 8 a.m. So okay, let's go ahead and discuss the tier list. Do you have the list on your end? I would like the guest to be first. There's an option sa baba, sir, to share your screen, and you could share the they call this the whatever browser you're using with the tier list. So I'd like you to go first on this list.
Oh man. The link that
I
the
sent you.
create. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, they
okay.
created the Dream Theater
Already
tier
have it
list.
here. So let us.
And we could what we could do is while you're also arranging it, if there's a specific song or songs that you enjoy for that album, you could also do that as well. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right. Yeah. So what we're
Okay.
doing right now is Mr. Mark here is going to segregate which is the best and also the worst based on his experience. So Mark, you have the floor. You could go ahead and
Oh man. Okay,
discuss.
so let's uh let's try to start with the first album. Um when Dream and Day Unite. I would put it maybe there's better. I mean,
Mm,
I guess maybe factoring in I mean they have good songs in that album, that first album. It's just that for me the recording quality is not as
mm.
good as, Images and Words moving forward. Like every other album since Images and Words was just, like top-notch recording and mixing and mastering. So I guess maybe here budget constraints maybe, but
Yeah, definitely.
especially the drums. I didn't like the snare sound on this album too much, too much. Okay. Now, next is Images and Words. I would have to put it uh, in the
Of course.
masterpiece.
I'm going to crucify you, Mark, if you're not going to place it on masterpiece. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I guess because this technically this started it all. I mean, the Dream Theater sound that we're hearing right now will be traced back to this album, starting from Metropolis, Learning to Live, Take the Time, all those progressive metal elements that they started with this album. Although then again, I think, and also I think Mike Portnoy had some issues with the producers having his snare drum triggered on this album. I think,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's the
way
reason
too
why,
obvious.
yeah, they re-released a few songs from this album and part of their
Mm-mm.
greatest hit album, right? So I mean, it was a refreshing take on that one, but of course that triggered snare sound is very
It,
signature in this album. It's already part of it.
mm-mm.
Okay, now Awake. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. I would say maybe I would be putting this in the great album.
Okay.
Okay, so why great album? Because I think this is where Dream Theater this well, obviously it's a it people saw this as like the sophomore effort of Dream Theater, because a lot of people didn't know about the When Dream and Day Unite.
Yeah.
So I think Dream Theater like was more tight and heavy in this album. So this is like the first taste of the public of the really metal side of Dream Theater, like
Mm.
The Mirror, and then
This
Lie.
is this was a very dark album,
A
to be
very dark
honest.
album,
Yeah,
yeah.
even for its time, but
Yeah.
it's something
And
that
even
I sorry, go
yeah.
ahead, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was about to reserve the explanation later, but when you listen to this entire album, even how they made the other songs, it was very dark. But
Yeah.
you, yeah, the mirror is one of the particular songs that was dark, very dark theme, and also scarred.
Yeah.
And they probably they really innovated the progressive metal what do you call this aspect of their music within
Yeah.
here. It wasn't really in when I'm sorry, images and words. And images and words is more of a straight on prog rock, except for a few songs, except for
Yeah.
Metropolis Part Two, and also Pull Me Under. But yeah, it was a you're right. This is probably the official second album in
Yeah.
2000 because a lot of people didn't really know when Dream and Day Unite. That's right.
And I think as far as I know, this is also like the first time John Petrucci is using a seven string. So it's very apparent with their sound. And just going back to what your observation was of the album being dark,
Mm.
um, it's also apparent with Lifting Shadows of a Dream, with
Yeah.
which was um, the lyrics were written by John Mayer himself. Ang dami nagsasabi na I think it's one of the most deepest lyrics ever written in the whole Dream Theater catalog, because if you just look at it and not understand it, sometimes there are things that wouldn't make sense. But if you read it, and if you read it in with a perspective of you know textures and landscapes, you'll get his you'll get his heart, you'll get his what he means,
Mm.
and what he's trying to convey in that particular song, Lifting Shadows of a Dream. So, and also not to mention Kevin Moore's departure.
Oh
Kevin
my
Moore
god.
never
Yeah.
toured this album. Never
It
toured
was
this album.
Derek
So
Shrinian who toured for this one.
yeah, so it's really dark. You're right. It's really dark.
Oh yeah, Mark. Also, just a heads up. Chris Gomez from Ophelia will be dropping in also in the future. So
Nice.
yeah, so
Cool.
Medjo Metal. He's going to give us a bit of also perspective as a guitar player also. So
Oh
I'm
yes,
very
yes.
excited about that one. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, that's okay. Next
Falling
one
into
is
infinity.
Falling into Infinity.
Okay.
I think you're gonna a lot of people might hate me on this one, but I'm really gonna put it in the great album. For some reason, I really love this album. I guess because you could really feel the tension in this album. It's night and day between Images and Words and Falling to Infinity.
Mm,
So artistically, if you're a fan of the band, without even watching the documentaries, you could really feel that they are being pressured in a way. Even the lyrical content, like "Burning My Soul," "New Millennium." I think the only progish song that's in here is "Lines in the Sand" and "Hell's Kitchen."
Hell's Kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think
Oh
that's
no, how
it.
about Trial of Tears
A
is
Trial
also a
of
bit.
Tears, yeah,
Yeah,
Trial of Tears,
it's an
yeah.
awesome
The
song.
the it is an awesome song. But I mean, we all know how what kind of pressures that they underwent. I think they record for this particular session. They recorded tons of songs, and a lot of them were rejected, and a lot of them, especially I think the second track, "You Not Me," it was supposed to be "You or Me," which was written by John Petrucci.
Yeah.
However, they brought in this producer guy, Desmond Child. I think he's a
Forgot the
famous,
name.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a famous producer who rewrote the song to sound more commercial, in a way. But I really love this album just for Hell's Kitchen alone. If I'm going to pick one song and this one, it's Hell's Kitchen, because that was my first taste of like the epic sounding Dream Theater, like the epic and the majestic sound of Dream Theater,
Mm,
especially the finale of Hell's Kitchen. That was my
mm,
first taste. And
yeah.
yeah, I put that there in the great album.
It's fine. It's fine. Also, Chris, gandang gabi, sir.
Hello? Okay ba yung mic?
Yeah, your mic is okay.
Okay,
So,
there you go.
Chris, this is Mark. Mark, this is Chris Gomez
Hi,
from
nice
Hey,
to meet
Awaken.
you.
Chris.
Nice
Hey,
to meet
Also,
you.
Chris.
I think from Guitar Pusher as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, wala
Guitar
So,
akong
Chris,
web.
Pusher.
I don't have a webcam right now
no,
with
that's
me.
fine.
So, okay.
That's fine.
Thanks for inviting me. So, you guys go ahead.
I'll send you the list ng yung binigay ko sa kanya, Chris.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah,
you
sure, sure.
also later once matapos si Mark and then ikaw. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we're just having a conversation also here regarding
Uh,
Mark's tier list
yeah,
when
the
it
tier
comes in the
list. I
album.
can I can see, I can see. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
So,
don't hesitate to ako I'm just
open.
bash me or whatever.
Yeah,
If you
go.
feel like feel like bashing, like because ako, a lot of people are saying why yun nga, just going back, no, why I put Falling into Infinity. It's a great
No, 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 no.
album.
Actually, I have a far more optimistic view when it comes to falling into infinity nowadays.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Before, I would
Nice.
rank it just as low as when they in the Dream Unite. But now, no, this deserves a lot more love than it used to have.
Oh yeah.
Maybe because tumanda na lang din ako. I'm a bit of a mature musician nowadays.
Yeah.
But there are some stuff in this album that I enjoy a lot.
And my brother who's the keyboard player for Brysom is actually a fan of the sounds of Derek Shenyan over Jordan. Over Jordan. For some reason, he loves the B3 organ Derek produces in this album. So it's very complimenting to the guitar. So yeah, Falling into Infinity. And then of course the next one, Metropolis Part Two. That's a masterpiece right there. That's the rebirth of Dream Theater. I mean, based on the documentaries, without that album, like Dream Theater would have been dead already. It was a
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
or miss for them. They really fired on all cylinders. The lyrics, the music, the recording. They went back to bare tracks where they originally recorded the images and words. So you knew right away that they really cared for the fans, and they because of the well it Falling to Infinity was a was a commercial failure in um, Dream Theater said, and it's known to this day. But when they made Metropolis Part Two, they really wanted to give that kind of happiness to the fans. What the same feeling na naramdaman nila nung unang nila napakinggan yung images and words. So I guess I can't say anything more about this album. I think this is, if not the greatest album that they have
mm-mm.
created, rivaling images and words.
Yeah.
Okay, next 6 degrees. I would put it.
I
I would
guess
put
good.
it good. Yeah. I would put it in good. Um, I think the this album was very ambitious, and this is, I think, according to Jordan Rudess and their Octavarium documentary, I think this is when the fans got divided, because the obviously it's a double disc. One has, I think, 5 songs, and then one has this one giant 40 plus minute epic, six
Concept
degrees of
album.
yeah 6 degrees of inner turbulence. One song, I think, the to date it's still the longest song of Dream Theater. And I think on this one they experimented a lot in terms of recording, like recording some drums backwards or some guitars backwards, and then a lot of Beatles recording techniques were made in here. I'm sure that's no that's initiative of Mike Portnoy, who is a huge Beatles fan.
Yep.
Um, I guess for some reason I really like Blind Faith on this one, on this album. It had a really nice tension. I know it's not that popular, but
Mhm.
Blind Faith is probably what I listen most in this specific album. Yeah. Train of Thought. Oh
Okay,
man,
this is interesting.
I gotta put this in the great album. I gotta I have to put it right there, because Train of Thought was just they just come out of the tour for 6 degrees, and they actually covered uh Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets in its entirety. So according to Mike Portnoy, like the metal, the metal was running through their veins. And so that actually inspired this album. And they wrote it quick, they recorded it quick, and then it was so straightforward. A lot of fans got alienated with this one, but the reason why I put this in the great album, because a lot of new fans were invited to listen to Dream Theater, especially for the kids. I think this was released 2004, and then at that time, like, a lot of kids were listening to post hardcore, a lot of pop punk that had metal elements to them. So this actually resonated with them. And at the time, I think metalcore was already coming out. So relatively, the newer kids, new metal kids were already listening to this album. So it was a good introduction for Dream Theater. So great album. And of course, the next one is Octavarium. Huh.
Kind of a
Sorry,
mixed bag.
I would put it in a great album. Yeah, I would put it in a great album, because it was the for me, looking at it in a linear pattern. It's like it was the great equalizer coming out of Train of Thought. And Octavarium is just, like the quintessential Dream Theater song for me. In the words of John Petrucci, if you want to know what Dream Theater sounds like, just pop in the CD and you know what they'll sound like. So it's like everything rolled into one. And then Systematic Chaos. I'll put it in good.
Hmm.
I'll put it in good. Um, I guess I like the this was their transition from going to, I think, Roadrunner Records. So I think what I like about this album is the recording quality. The snare sound had a more, I don't know, or like more of an organic but punchy sound. I think he used Portnoy used a different snare. I'm not sure if smaller or larger for his main snare. So it was really apparent on this one. And Ministry of Lost Souls was actually a good song for this one. And then your favorite JM,
Oh
Black
my.
Clouds and Silver Linings. I would put it in the great album. Sorry, not just
It's
because
not a masterpiece, that guy. It's not. It's not really.
yeah. well, not because it was Portnoy's last album, but I think it was the lyrical content on this one was very ambitious. I mean, you had fantasy, you had reality, which was shown in the best of times. That song
Mm.
was written. That song was written for Mike Portnoy's dad, who recently just passed away. So it had a good balance between fantasy and reality. And then just that finale in Count of Tuscany. I
Yep.
mean, the guitar solo itself. I mean the tone. I'm not sure if that solo was double tracked, but it had that stereo, that chilling stereo effect. If you listen it with headphones, I'm not sure, but yeah, one of uh, one of the best albums that Dream Theater has recorded. Sound wise, sonic
Mm-mm.
wise. Next, on the Backs of Angels. I'm sorry, but I have to put it. There's better. I would have to put it there. Um, there's this. I'm not sure who did the comparison, but there are a lot of songs in this specific
Like
album that was a recall to
images
Images
and
and
words.
Words.
Yeah.
And then there's even one song here that had a similar intro and a similar tempo to a Red song. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that band, Red. They had that comparison.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Apparently,
There's one song.
I think the engineers were the same. I'm not. Yeah, there's that one song. I'm just not familiar with it though. Okay, they're self-titled Dream Theater. I would put it okay, just because of illumination theory alone, I would put it in good. Just because of illumination
We're
what's
losing
that?
you again. Is there a
Illumination.
problem with your internet, Mark? Oh, Mark, it's still there.
Track
You're
of
hanging up.
this
You're
one.
hanging up. Mark, hurt the Mark.
Medyo choppy, no? I think it's because of the rain or
Yeah,
the
you can
not.
Hello,
kanina.
can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, but you're
Okay.
hanging up. Your video quality is hanging up, and also
Sorry.
you shared. Is there a problem?
Sorry.
Internet?
How about now? Everything is good?
No, still no.
Is everything good now?
Yeah, audio
Hello?
is good. Yeah, audio is good, but your video, it's still stuck up. There, but
Okay.
your mouse is ready. Yeah,
There.
there. Go, good.
Okay,
Go.
there you go.
Sorry about that.
Okay,
You're
okay.
saying about the
Sorry
self-titled
about that.
album.
Where was I? The self-titled album. I think
Yeah.
just because of illumination theory alone, I'll put it in the good spot. For the
Mm.
others, to be honest, a lot of the songs from the Portnoy post Portnoy are not really memorable for me. Because I think it drum parts has a big factor in because the music is complicated. It's already complicated enough, and then like Portnoy like provided that memorable backbone that the
Mm.
listener could fall back into when Jordan and John Petrucci go crazy already. So I think yeah, I'll put it in good just for because of Illumination, the last track of this album. Okay, um, Astonishing.
One of the best. I don't know.
One of the best. No, I would put it in me. I'm not saying that it's a terrible album. Recording of this one is great. But there's just two songs that I listened to this one. Unless you have that, I did try to listen to it. From start to finish. I think you need to have a mindset of appreciate appreciating musical theater in this one, because for me it's what it is. It's like musical theater with just one, one actor, because like James Libby is literally singing a lot. Well, I mean, all the parts here. So unless you have that perspective, it's tough to get through this album unless
Mm.
you're listening to Gift of Music, or at least because I'm a big sucker for epics. Eh. So I think Astonishing, the last track of the album, I like that last song of the album, Astonishing. Okay, Distance Over Time. Um, I would
Tough
put it,
call.
yeah, this one's tough because I really love, maybe I'll put it in good, because I really love, just take out the other songs just for Barstool Warrior. And then for Barstool Warriors, John Petrucci's solo in Barstool Warrior. I mean, you can also even ask my wife. I've been playing that song for the past 2 weeks, like almost every day, because I don't know, the how they composed that, or how they made that song. They really mixed all the, it's a quintessential Dream Theater song as well, but it's just in a short song format. But just for that song alone, I put it as good. And then, to be honest with you, I haven't listened to the whole entire album of View from the Top of the World. So fortunately, maybe I'll put it in There's Better, because I've listened to The Alien.
It's
That's a
good.
sick track. That's
Mm-hmm.
really that's a sick track right there. It's a sick track. But
I agree.
I haven't listened to the last to the title track of this album. But I heard that it's good. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's my take.
It's your
What's
take.
do you agree? Any violent reactions on this
No,
one?
I don't have any violent reactions because I'm also gonna show mine later. You guys might have more incendiary comments when it comes to mine. Chris, ikaw pare.
You know,
Would you like
seeing Mark's tier list
list?
right now, it's like I feel like I'm so biased towards Dream Theater. It's like,
You could share your screen, Chris, and also do
okay,
your list.
okay, hold on.
Okay, I'll stop sharing now.
Sorry. Yeah. I was about to read out your
Oh yeah,
mode.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'll share it
let's go
again. I'll
ahead and
share it again.
while Chris is preparing it. Sorry. Let's go ahead
Okay.
and read out Mark's list again one more time. So what Mark has, let's start from top to I'm sorry, bottom to top. So meh is the astonishing. There's better is when Dream and Day unite. Um, I forgot the name of this album. Look at how disassociated myself is when it comes to post port
Dramatic turn
noise,
of
dramatic
events.
turn of events,
Yeah.
and then tignan mo nakalimutan ko lahat yung mga
View
bago.
from the top of the
View from
world.
the Top, which is the recent one, the most recent album
Yeah.
went out. Good is 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, Systematic Chaos, the self-titled album, and what's the name of this one? I forgot.
Distance over
Sorry,
time.
it's in overtime, which is very funny because I'm wearing that shirt right now,
Oh
and I
wow.
don't even know the name of this new album, or at least recent album, 2019. But yeah, good tier. I agree. Probably, I've listened some of the Distance Over Time, but I really didn't enjoy it that much, to be honest.
Barstool
Great
Warrior.
albums. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the solo in Barstool Warriors good. That's one thing I could give about that. It's excellent, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Great albums: Awake, Falling to Infinity, Train of Thought, Octavarium, and also Black Clouds and Silver Linings. Masterpiece, Nothing to Argue. By default, it's always going to be Images and Words, and
Yes.
also Scenes from a Memory. So without those two, you probably won't be seeing Dream Theater, to be honest.
Yes.
So that's his list. And Mark, that we are going to discuss probably, siguro tatlo tayo ngayon, probably the top five na lang, songs later.
Okay.
So let's go ahead with Chris. Chris, you can share
uh
your screen in
let
regards
me
to that one.
try to share my screen. Oh, okay, I can share the window.
Yeah, window.
Okay,
Yeah. Oh,
here we
Chris,
go.
floor is yours. Go ahead.
Are we doing this chronologically or?
Well, it's up to you. It's up to you. Mark just done it
I just preferred it to
chronologically.
do
Yeah.
just for just for to go easy with, on my brain.
Mhm.
Okay. No, I think we'll go chronologically kasi if we do from masterpiece down to May, it kind of like spoils
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
entire
fun,
thing.
right? Spoils the fun. So, okay, when dream and day unite. So, um, it's I think it's good. Although, since I'm a guitar player, so I'm gonna comment a lot on what John Petrucci is
Nice.
doing. So, um, at this point, John Petrucci is not yet John Petrucci. He's like Alex Lifeson plus Ingve Malmsteen
Mm.
at
I
this point
agree.
in time.
Yes.
So like the solo to It's a Jam, sounds to me it sounds like what if Alex Lifeson, did the heavier uh
Yeah.
Heavier
guitar
takes.
tone, had a heavier guitar tone and whatnot. So basically, and then he has some Malmsteen style licks here. I forgot like
Yeah.
which specific songs, but so there you go.
Is it the like correct na lang me if I'm wrong because I'm not a good guitar player. Is it like the tapping Malmsteen, yung
Um
ba yung Malmsteen influence ni
uh
Petrucci or yung more
no,
the
the
shredding?
it's more of the diminished arpeggios.
Ah, okay. There you go.
Licks in there. The tapping one is uh maybe like Alex Lifeson ish
Alex,
because that's
okay.
his version of like doing something like a solo to YYZ. Uh
Ah,
yeah, so 'di ba yung sa It's a Jam parang YYZ guitar solo. I hear some YYZ influence in that solo. Um so there's and it's actually it would have been a great album if Charlie Dominici as the
Yeah.
singer, his voice here was very ano pa,
Raw.
raw and
yeah.
but when he guested I saw a live video they yung parang anniversary I'm not sure
Yeah.
which
Yeah, with Derek and
he
also
sang
her.
in he sang Metropolis Part one of the verses. It was
Yeah.
like, wow, why did
Yeah.
they
Same.
why is he not there with them? So, but listening back to when the Dream and Day Unite, yeah, he was still a bit and I listened to Charlie Dominici's solo albums also.
Dominici.
Great stuff.
Awesome.
Actually,
Dominic
great
Awesome.
stuff.
Dominici, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, super awesome. So there, I think this was not his time yet, although he was surrounded by incredible musicians. So,
Yeah.
uh, wrong place at the wrong time, kind of a thing.
Scenario. Yeah.
So there we go. So images and words. So this is unanimous, bro. It's like there,
Definitely.
it's just from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's quite the adventure. Even the songs Mayong wrote, like learning to
Mhm.
live.
Yeah.
Mayong wrote that one,
Did
if
he
I'm not
did he
mistaken.
write Wait for Sleep?
That is keyboard player.
Uh
Kevin Moore.
Kevin
Kevin
Moore. That's
Moore.
Kevin
Kevin
Okay.
Moore.
Moore. Yeah. Who's
Yeah.
a
So
doctor, by the way. He's a
yeah,
doctor.
he is.
No.
He is.
Amazing.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of like how Brian May is an astrophysicist now,
Yeah. Yeah.
like something like that. Like
Yeah.
these guys have they have too much brain capacity for
Yeah.
their own good. So much brain power. But anyway, so there we go. Images and words unanimous there. Um, Awake. Yeah. I'd place this in the great album. For me, actually, Awake would have been a masterpiece. I just felt like this is just my personal opinion, but um putting Silent Man somewhere in the middle kind of
Didn't work.
no naman. I mean, it's not a boring song. It's just that the hype from the start up to that point, it suddenly died down.
Ah. Makes
'Di ba? So
sense. Yeah.
it was building up, and then suddenly Silent Man. So it's kind of like
Mm-mm.
yeah. So
So what
uh
is was it bro, was it just like a matter of positioning the track?
yeah, to
Could
me
be. Yeah.
it could have been the pacing would have been better if it was
Ah,
uh
makes
It,
what's
sense.
it
yeah.
it's kind of hard to play Silent Man for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Diba?
It's
Ang
very
hirap,
tricky.
very hard to play Silent Man in between others. You could place
Especially
it.
ano it's chronological from Erotomania to The Mirror, 'di ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Or I think up to Lie pa nga eh.
Lie.
Yeah, up
Oo.
to Lie. So it's a set of those. So I'm not sure. I wouldn't know better. It's just that I feel in my opinion na parang the energy kind of dropped right
Mm.
at the peak of
No, I
the
mean,
Yeah.
experience.
in
Yeah.
general, Chris, it's hard to play Silent Man
Yeah.
anywhere else kung pansinin mo. Hindi mo siya
I
pwede
wouldn't
ilagay.
want to be the one making that decision.
Yeah. You can place it before Ergotomania
Yep.
because you're coming from Innocence Faded. And you
Mm.
can place it after, let's say,
Kasi those are
Scarred.
your bangers eh. 'Di ba? 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
Caught in the Web,
Yeah.
Innocence Faded, and then
Yeah.
suddenly Erotomania, and
Ergotomania,
then
and then
suddenly
this.
yeah. So yun, so I mean,
And I
I'm not
think
dissing it
that's
in any way. So it's
bro,
just my
Chris.
personal experience. Sorry.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for your insight on that one. Now it's kind of making sense because in the live version of Scenes from a Memory, the one in New York, they
Mm-hmm.
did play
Full
Silent
band.
Man,
Yeah.
but it was a full band version. So
Ah,
it if they did play the acoustic, I mean
mm,
the momentum would have died
exactly.
most
All.
probably. Pero
Mm.
iningayan nila dun eh. They played it loudly. Okay.
Maybe they
It
realized
does
it
make
later on.
sense.
That's why they
Oh.
did it differently sa live. So maybe they
Oh.
realized it afterwards. Maybe.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Oh. I'll try to listen awake nga. Ano, it's a good insight, bro.
Yes.
Good
Yes.
insight,
Yeah.
bro. Thanks for that.
Tapos so that's one, and then another reason that would have made it into master yung Space Divest. I didn't think that was
Mm-mm.
a good outro. It was really, it's like Pink Floyd ish, that
Yeah,
song.
that's a Kevin
So
Moore song, no? Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and I mean because after Space Divest I was expecting one more song, but there's no more. So because spacey vibe, and then I thought it was gonna go back
Yeah.
to something a bit heavier. So there we go. But it's a great album nonetheless.
Yeah.
Like 90% of the songs are like super
Yeah. 6 o'clock
super.
alone.
Yep, ulam na.
Oh,
'Di ba the intro, such a good
it's
opener.
iconic. I mean, when you hear that drum, and I'm sorry, if you're, I'm not sure for whoever's listening us who's Mangini fan, no. Pero when
Mhm.
Mangini plays the intro for 6 o'clock,
It's different.
it's different
Mm.
eh.
May
Iba
struggle siya.
talaga eh.
He's
Iba
struggling.
talaga.
I mean, he's not struggling in a sense na it's difficult for him
The
to play it.
sound is different.
It's the
No,
feel.
the feel
He's
eh.
trying to
That's
catch the
right.
feel.
He can't. Sorry.
I mean, you can put it note for note in a drum sheet,
That's
but
right.
for you
Yeah.
to
Still
capture
different.
how Portnoy is actually accentuating and articulating those particular notes, it's ano, it's basically human.
Yeah, that's human
Ano eh.
feel already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
exactly.
All right.
Okay. Falling into infinity. I'm sorry, guys.
Great.
Uh, no. So
Oh,
okay.
Oh.
Okay. No, 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 no. Let me explain myself.
That's
Um,
good. It's fine.
I like Peruvian skies. I like Lines in the Sand. I like these songs. Just Let Me Breathe, especially Just Let Me. That's my
yeah.
favorite song of this album. But man, the production is just so difficult to listen to.
I
The
agree.
the the
Ah,
recording.
yeah. I'd have to agree with that one. Yeah. It's very, very I think because they had the pop producer. Eh.
It's very fatiguing to the ears.
It's ano,
In my
it's what
opinion. In my opinion.
it's called identity crisis when it comes to this album.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they can re-record this, I
That would
might
be
place
great.
it
Yeah.
in a much higher tier,
Tier. Yeah.
basically. And if they, kasi right now they're already, because at this point they were struggling with the producers and the label and the whatever. If
Yeah.
they re-release Falling into Infinity the way they actually imagined it to be, that would be really, really. good
Could have
move.
been a
Eh,
masterpiece.
Could have been a
yeah, but
masterpiece. Kasi,
Yeah.
kasi they
but
already told the fans, right? Na they were explaining to the fans after it got released. So they were being um harassed by the label to do this
Yeah.
and that, change this and that. So I would have loved to hear how this album sounded really in their heads.
Yeah. I would
Uh,
have to agree with that
I
one.
think
and
siguro ipasok ko din siguro yung opinion ko. So
mm,
since nasabi ni Chris, sorry, para hindi ko sabihin mamaya. I think this came into a time that it was also good for the band because imagine if they released um, scenes from a memory
mhm.
with Derek. I cannot imagine him being in that lineup, to be honest,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
direction din yan.
most of the parts that they already prepared for scenes from a memory was also with Derek's reunion,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
there's the demo CD there that didn't really sound as close as what they had with
Mhm.
scenes from a memory. No, that's
With
also an
Jordan, with
opinion on my
Jordan.
end. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's my piece. So
Although
sorry, yeah, go.
Yeah.
I mean I just yeah, I agree with you. Derek Sherinian, his talents are great, but it's just not vibing well with the rest. Because he made
Mm.
an
Yeah.
album with Virgil Donati and all
Planet
these pros.
X.
Yeah, Planet X, and
Yeah.
those are great
That
albums,
was
man.
killer. Yeah. That's a killer album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my take on Falling into Infinity. And just to add one more thing, it doesn't use the iconic Dream Theater logo. It,
Yeah.
it just
It's
They
not
pisses me off a
present.
lot.
they were actually pissed about that. That they
Yeah.
can't they were able to use it.
Was it a management or a production
It's
issue
a
also?
label thing.
I forgot, but I
It's
knew I've heard
probably
it from
label.
Portnoy. They fought someone about it. Eh.
Mm.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, they almost split up because of this album.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why they played around with the idea of liquid tension experiment for a
Yeah.
while before going back to the next one, which is Scenes from a Memory.
Oh yeah.
So so this is quite a masterpiece. So this is the first album wherein Jordan Rudess comes in and lends his talents to them. Um this album is the first one I think that they actually incorporated some jazz fusion stuff. No,
Yeah.
not really. No, more jazzy stuff, swing. Because there's
Yeah.
jazz fusion
Mm.
in Metropolis Part One. So they
Yes.
explore that more in Scenes from a Memory, like in Dance of Eternity. May jazz, may swing part. There's a swing part there. Um, so I really like that. I enjoy that they can put all of these elements while telling a nice story. The Victoria and you know James. So I think they did the play on this one, right?
Yes,
They had
there's
they have a
an
theater play.
live scenes from New York.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's quite the it's quite the experience also. Okay, so I think these two are unanimous and
Yeah.
self-explanatory to an
Yeah.
extent. I think Mark already covered most bases in there. Next is 6 Degrees. I think it's a great album.
Oh
Um
wow.
I think it's a great album because this is well, I'm kind of biased on this album because
Glass
in
Prison.
my opinion, 6 Degrees has Petrucci's most difficult guitar solo, which is the intro to the Glass Prison. I think that's his most difficult.
Oh.
Um, bec-
Oh
the sweep part, but he
Yeah.
doesn't sweep
yeah,
it. He doesn't sweep
Yeah.
it. He plays it alternate picking, if
Oh.
I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
So yeah,
alternate picking. Okay.
yeah, he alternate picks that. So it's quite, it's quite something. And I really like the first disc, all the songs. Blind Faith,
Yeah.
The Great Debate,
Blind faith. Yeah.
Solitary Shell.
Solitary Shell
That's
is in
from disc
second
two.
place.
That's from disc two though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disc two, I have select songs that I like. So yun nga, Solitary Shell and whatnot. Kaya lang, I mean, I didn't really I wasn't fond of the entire disc too. So it's a great album. It would have been a masterpiece for me if it was just disc one. In my
Oh,
opinion,
okay.
that's my opinion. So I really enjoyed disc one. That's why I'm putting it in the great
So
album.
all the songs in disc one, you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the
Misunderstood.
great
Oh
debate.
wow,
Yeah.
nice, great debate.
Um
Yeah,
yeah, and they were actually getting heavier tones here. They're
Mm,
yeah,
starting to explore on heavier
yeah.
distortion and gain
yeah,
as compared to
it's
Scenes from a Memory.
it's very prevalent with Glass Prison, diba?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'di
very
ba the
prevalent.
intro, 7 string right away. Giant,
Yeah.
giant,
Yeah.
tigada, tigada.
And
So there.
yeah. And I think I know this particular album because back in Scenes from a Memory, as far as I know, in a guitar player's perspective, I think Petrucci was still using the prototype Music Man's, the JP Music
Yes.
Man's
Yes.
for Scenes from a Memory. And then
Mhm.
when it came to 6 Degrees, I think he's already using the JP the Music Man JP's that's already released to the public. So
Mhm.
it has a for yeah I would have to agree with you. The guitar sounds more beefy in this one because this is
Exactly.
where they have free reign
Yep.
well, they had free reign with the what's this Scenes from a Memory, but this one they had much more free reign, and very apparent that they did a double album on that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And I let me just add on to that. I the beefy sound of Petrucci I think is actually more apparent when Portnoy is producing the album.
Mm.
So this is where Portnoy started producing some songs or the entire who's the producer for this? Who's
Is it
credited on
Kevin
the
Shirley?
producer? No, Kevin Sir is mixing.
Mixing.
Produce.
I think
Anyway,
Portnoy
I'm not
Petrucci.
okay. So both,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh,
some
there we go. So both of them, right? And then eventually it will they so their shared production inputs in this album started leaning towards the Metallica influence in terms
Yeah,
of beefy guitar tone. Um so Train of Thought I think is so which moves on to Train of Thought. So yun yan, you mentioned that Train of Thought um they covered Master of Puppets and then they even cover Enter Sandman if I'm not mistaken like with As I
I
Am,
think
yeah,
yeah. Mm.
'di ba? So Train of Thought I think is a great album. You know,
nice,
Stream of
nice.
Consciousness, the
Honor
intro
Thy
feel
Father.
to Honor Thy
Yeah,
Father, 'di ba?
even
So
Vacant,
banging,
Vacant was
even
okay. Yeah.
Vacant is good.
'di ba?
Just a call back to what you said earlier, Chris, no, about yung sa Silent Man
Yes, it's almost
in
similar feel.
Awake.
Mhm,
Mm.
mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
parang it had the. I mean, you were saying na Silent Man had that like some sort of dissonant part of that album. However,
Mhm.
when it came to Vacant, somehow it gelled the ano I think it again it's the track listing, the order of the
It
track
it
listing.
Yeah.
gelled directly to ano to Stream of Consciousness. Eh.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
it.
nice.
Yep. Sorry,
So
Chris.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Go.
they did it very well on this album.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So there so but so I yun so it's a great album in my opinion. Would have been a masterpiece if there were more like super duper iconic songs. Like Images and Words kasi all of them is iconic. Like every
yeah,
one of them had a unique offering and you can really recall 'di ba everything. So
Mm-hmm.
Train of while I mean while still maintaining the album, you know. So that's what makes it a masterpiece for me. So Train of Thought, individual songs are great. Some songs are not as iconic as others. So great album nonetheless. What's next? Octavarium.
Octavarium.
Octavarium is good. I'm not super fan of Octavarium. Um
ooh,
I'm
Okay.
not super fan of Octavarium. I like. Uh, I
Octavarium.
like some songs, Panic Attack,
Okay.
Mm.
Root of All Evil, those songs. Good. The last track, Octavarium, I felt it was, in my opinion, it's dragging to listen to, at
Yeah, a
least.
bit.
Oh,
So that's why I feel um that's why I put it in this tier.
okay.
Okay, so next one we have Systematic Chaos. Also good. Um
Ooh.
I feel the
Okay.
same
Wow.
way, same as Octavarium as well. Um I like, Presence of Enemies, Forsaken, Constant Motion, Dark Eternal Night, um Mystery of Lost Souls, di ba? So same with Octavarium in the Press of Enemies Part 2. Not I didn't like it as much. Um
I love part two.
yeah, I mean it has its good, it has its ups and downs.
Good parts, yeah.
It has
Mm.
good parts, but it's just not it wasn't just for me, I
Mm.
guess.
How about
Um
the guitar solos in the presence of enemies? So what's your take on those?
ah yeah, it's that's interesting because mm, I recall more the solos to Constant Motion, to
Okay.
Forsaken. So, for me, the recall is a big factor. Eh. So the LSS
Mm.
factor of the guitar
Yeah.
solo because I'm a guitar player, di ba?
Mm.
So I appreciate when a solo makes me remember how it goes and I can sing it in my head even if it's a guitar solo. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so there that's why it plays it there. Uh okay, so
Black
uh
Clouds.
Black Clouds. I am so I'm
Whoa.
so I'm so biased towards this album because
Oh
for me
man.
this is their heavy tone that I can that I listen to from start to finish without without skipping any tracks.
Mm.
Wow.
I love Nightmare.
Yeah. Oh
I
wow.
love Nightmare. I love Rite of Passage. I covered the solo of the Best of Times at one point because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Uh so yeah, I love Petrucci's tone in this one. The
Yeah.
especially his neck pickup.
Yeah.
Um I'm not sure what neck pickup he used here. I think it was the liquefier na or
It's
yeah, I think this was
like
the crunch
full.
of
It's
liquefier.
very no very it's like wine eh. Parang it's like full bodied sound,
Yes.
the like everything eh. Everything na that's happening in Black Clouds eh.
Mm.
Wow, but
Mm.
wow, I didn't expect that masterpiece. So it's equal to Images
Yeah,
and Words and
for me.
Metropolis for
Yes,
you.
because
Wow.
For him, for him, yeah.
the tone is perfect, the production is superb. Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much.
Nice.
Um so there okay,
Newer stuff.
Here we go.
okay, here we go. I'll put this here. Okay.
Okay.
Wow, great
Okay.
album.
It's a
Mm.
great album. I enjoyed it as much as Black Clouds. Okay. But the reason why it didn't reach the masterpiece tier for me is because of the drums. So
Yeah.
same
Drums, yeah.
uh yeah, same but kasi
Mixing.
this was when they didn't have a drummer, 'di ba? This is when they
Yeah.
auditioned the drummer. So if I'm not mistaken, John Petrucci just, programmed the
Program.
drums and then they got a really nice VST software and
Wait.
samples to ano?
So Mangini didn't play
No.
drums for this
No.
album?
Nope.
No,
He didn't reach that one.
I think
He,
what they did on this specific album,
Uh-huh.
mhm.
Mangini did record the drums, but he didn't write it.
Oh yeah,
Petrucci wrote it. Yeah. Petrucci wrote it for Mangini.
Mm,
So
okay.
he had but yeah, I think that's what happened. I think the
Okay.
drum parts was given to Mangini, and then he just played it as it is.
Just
So
read it.
he had no creative input
Mm.
yeah, because
on this
some of
one.
the drum parts here also sounds a bit Portnoy-ish, di ba?
Yeah, especially the stocks, no? There
Mm,
are some ano that's a signature Portnoy ano eh.
also that,
Thing.
Portnoy sound.
forgot
But
the name of that song.
what do you think of the drum parts though,
Yun nga eh. So
Chris?
actually I'm surprised that i- Mangini if Mangini recorded this, I'm stumped. Because listening to the
Yeah,
drums of this
Mangini did
album,
record it. He did
oh my
record it.
god. Oh my god. So it's not a good it's not a
A
good
mix?
drum production because
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
there's no what you call this headroom. There's no loud, there's no soft. It's so compressed.
Mark was correct. Mark is correct. I understand now. Well, alam ko na rin even before pa. This was the time when they immediately gave the parts over to Mangini. And yeah, you have to do this. This would be your what do you call it, first album with us,
Like
but
blueprint.
you have no creative freedom at this point. So they already had a plan with Portnoy, but
Mhm.
Portnoy went out, and then he was replaced with Mangini, who they wanted to play the parts as is. So basically, there's no freedom,
Pero
and
bro
it's very
J,
sad. Mm.
yeah, bro J, look, Chris's take on this one is actually very interesting because all this time he knew that the drums were programmed, and actually that's the reason
Yeah,
why
that's the
he didn't
problem
like
with
it. And then now
yeah,
he's finding
yeah.
out that actually Mancini, it makes sense to him now that the production on the drums on this specific album wasn't that good. So
Mm.
it's good that he was able to point out the flaws in the sound of the drums.
Maybe siguro if the drums would be sounding as good as the Alien, we might
Yep.
have enjoyed this
Yes.
further.
Mm, yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Mm.
Um
Sorry,
so
Chris. Go
there
ahead.
in my ears I always thought it was programmed because I program drums myself
Yeah.
on my songs. So I don't know, man.
Teach
No man,
teach me, bro. Teach me how to
they
program drums. I lose patience
uh,
programming drums.
It's hard.
so that's sad to hear. They effed it up, man. So because the
Oh.
songs are, I really love the songs on the backs of angels.
Lost not forgotten, bro.
Lost not
Yeah.
forgotten.
Yeah.
The keyboard and guitar, battle in that.
I
Uh,
love I love Outcry. To be honest, there are
diba?
parts of Outcry that I enjoy. Talaga.
So much breaking all illusions, di ba?
Yeah.
Super technical but melodic passages. You know, it's sad, but it is what it is.
Mm.
Okay, so moving
You
on to the
Drum
enjoyed
next.
it,
sound.
So,
so
Yeah.
yeah, you
so
enjoyed
this,
it, so yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed so much. So this one, I
Oh
love this
yeah.
album. I love this album. I
Whoa.
love this album so much because this is yun nga because you corrected me. This for the longest time this is I thought this was the first real Mangini
Mm.
record. Well, it is
Which is you're
because
not
he now
wrong. Yeah, which
Mhm,
Yeah,
you're not
it's
wrong. No, Mangini did write all the parts in this one.
yeah.
but
So
go ahead.
illumination theory, the way he used the rims of the toms in the middle part, that was like so the parang tribal kind of feel.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot. It was like the tika 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 tika, the one where
Yeah.
he used because I
Speaking of
Prototoms.
illumination, speaking
di
of
ba?
illumination theory, the drum parts that he did
Mhm.
in the intro itself,
Yeah.
if you listen to it, it sounds so complicated. And then when you see him perform live, he's actually playing a lot of things in that one. It sounds so simple, pero if you listen to it, there are a lot of things going on. Intro pa lang yun intro pa lang ng illumination theory.
Tapos yung gitnang part, the middle part where there's a choir and or something,
Yeah. Oo.
super nice. I enjoy so much Enemy Inside.
Oh, that's good.
That's a
Yeah.
banging riff.
Yeah.
That's their to me that's their Enter Sandman.
Dun,
To
dun,
me,
dun, dun, dun,
di
Dun,
ba?
dun, 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 dun.
So that's why I would place it on as the a great album. Enigma Machine, di ba?
Yeah.
Super, di ba? Etc. So yeah, it's a great album.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, final three.
Okay. I would agree on with the Mark.
Okay, okay.
Too ambitious.
I
Very
mean,
ambitious.
man, if I got, if I felt Octavarium was dragging, you know, this is
100 times.
yeah,
100
100 times
times.
better. I
Siguro
mean,
ano, Chris, since you
mhm,
already placed it on me, I'm just
mhm,
going to ask you the question. If
mhm.
you were the writer or the producer of this album,
Okay,
uh, anong gagawin mo
I
to
would
make
get,
it better?
I would make it like Arion. Hire so many
Oh,
more vocalists.
yes. Mm, good point.
Di ba?
Oh,
Space One,
I
stuff
would
like
I
that.
would do it
that's
like
right.
Arjen
Yeah,
Lucasen.
yeah.
Mm.
Hire guest vocalists to to portray the characters that's not supposed to be
I mean,
portrayed by
Labrie,
Labrie.
yeah, Labrie should have had that idea because he guested in Arion's
Eh,
project, right?
Diba?
mm,
Right? So I mean, that's what the first thing I would do.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. Oh, nga,
mm.
no?
And
Should have worked.
then number
Should have
two
worked.
is, clean up the damn track list, man. There's so much filler tracks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because you can just put it in one. They did it in Metropolis. They did it in Scenes from a Memory. The track listing is not
yeah.
crazy. So those are the two things that maybe I personally, if I if I would were given the chance to like give an opinion how to make it a bit better, you
Maybe
know.
you could create your own. Diba? You have the album naman. Make your own cut or something like that.
Hmm. Kaya lang, how
Did
do
you?
I get Russell Allen to sing on it?
Alam ka ng
Yeah.
locals.
Di ba?
Look for
So I mean
You
that kind of
have
thing. So
have you heard the rumor that that they were? I mean, there's a book on this one, The Astonishing, right? But
mhm.
Mm.
have you heard the rumor that they were actually planning to have this out in Broadway? Did you
Yeah,
hear
Yes.
anything?
yeah.
Yeah, di ba?
I
Pero
heard I
it
heard
didn't
that.
materialize, no? Kasi
Kasi
if
nga,
this was Broadway, it could have worked eh. Kasi nga,
yep,
essentially,
exactly.
may mga iba-ibang singers eh, di ba? There's different
Yes.
singers.
I,
Yeah.
I
But
think
never materialized.
yeah, I
Di
think
ba?
the reason that wouldn't materialize is it's because the music itself.
Ah,
You
the
can't
music.
live up to whatever Dream Theater has in mind. This is the biggest issue that we have with prog music because if you're not going to deliver it as is or even better, there's no point of translating it to a different medium. Kasi mahirap
Yeah.
eh, you'll be subjected to criticism and everything. But it's very interesting if we could hear an astonishing, let's say like created like Trans-Siberian Orchestra-ish.
Mhm.
Yung
Mhm.
ganon.
Yeah.
Ganon
Yep.
level, I would probably enjoy the album further or a lot more. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, I agree with
Mm.
with all of your inputs basically. But you know, this if we were to discuss like if this went to Broadway, I mean people would pay to
Yeah.
see it. In my
Yeah.
Yeah,
opinion,
mm.
because Broadway in itself is progressive. If
Yeah.
if you
It
catch
is.
my
It
drift,
is.
di ba?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Because I played in theater. I
Mm.
played as a theater
Oh.
guitarist for a bit. If you're familiar with Sawakas,
Mm, yeah.
Oh,
Ebe,
nice. Yeah.
I played guitar on that one, on the shows.
No, no, no.
Uh,
Yeah, I understand. Siguro yung kaya ko lang nasabi yon,
mhm,
it's
mhm.
you know how rabid ang fan
Yes, yes,
base
yes.
ng film theater talaga when it comes to
Oh,
people
yeah.
not able to execute it properly. I mean,
At
you'll
Mm.
I
definitely
mean
have
at par, no? It has to be at
you'll definitely have the involvement of DT there. As much as they did
yeah.
in ano yun, yung Octavarium na live album nila, which is live
Mm,
from New
mm,
York.
mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
if it's going to be made the same way, no problem. Pero isabihin natin na
Diba?
they're just going to give it to an orchestra or just
No, no, no,
a
no. That
Hollywood
wouldn't
lang.
work.
No, that's not gonna
You
work
need the
talaga.
you need the guys there. You need the guys there, and then actors. So
Uh,
them
Yeah.
plus actors, that would have been. Even
It'd
if
be
it's
better.
just 2 nights, bro,
Or they could just
people
do
would pay for it.
playback. They could just play back. No.
Yeah, they can also, but
Kaya
Yeah,
it's
good
not
work.
it
gonna
would
have
have
the
been
same.
underwhelming.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's gonna have.
So they could have done it for like a 2 night show. People, it would have been sold out, diba?
Yeah, yes,
It
yes.
doesn't have to
New
be a
York.
long running Broadway thing because obviously that's not what the guys would want. as a career, di ba? Because they just want to write
So
songs and tour and whatnot.
let's say maybe
So,
in 10 years time,
di ba? Why not?
2026
Di ba?
gumagawa nila. Yeah.
Astonishing what? 20-year anniversary? They might do it.
Mm,
Who
yep,
knows?
definitely.
But what one last thing I can say about the Astonishing, the No Mac guitar was super, super cool. The Music Man
Oh,
Majesty No Mac,
yeah. Oh
di ba?
man.
Oh, with the LED and the
Was it limited
yeah,
edition?
super limited.
Oh man. How much was it going for?
I'm not sure,
Estimate.
but when I saw it, man, that's just a nice
Oh man.
guitar.
It's a nice
Hundreds,
guitar. Oh,
It's a
thousands.
yeah.
nice guitar. Okay, so what's next? Distance over time?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Uh okay. This would be controversial, but I super duper enjoy Distance over time because they were
Okay.
trying to go back to images and words songwriting style,
Wow.
di ba? Um so to me it's like images and words but with better production.
Oh, okay.
That's my opinion on Distance over time.
I mean, I really didn't listen much to these two albums, so
Mhm.
my input later is not going to be that good. So yeah, sorry.
No, I mean we all have our experiences. So,
Uh,
'di ba? That's what we're here for. We're to share our
uh,
experiences with each
Yep.
album. So
Mm.
for me,
wow.
Distance over time was really, really, really good experience, enjoyable experience from start to
Oh, nice.
finish. From
I
Oh,
start to
have
wow.
to
finish.
I have to revisit this album.
Mm-hmm.
Talaga.
What's the
Yeah.
last track?
Pale
Uh,
Blue Dot.
Pale Blue Dot. Yeah. There you go.
That was such a good.
That,
That's
that's
such a
I know.
good.
Mangini had a sick intro for that one.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing
And
it with
then
one hand. Yeah.
there's one song na may sample ni who's this actor? I forgot the name. The guy who's wow. He has a sample.
Wow.
I forgot.
Yeah,
Person.
that one. Wait.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Owen Wilson.
Ah, yeah.
They
Owen
they
Wilson.
have a sample of his wow in I think room 137. I'm not sure which or S2N.
Hmm.
I think S2N.
Just to
Wow.
win.
Yeah, there's a part there where so all these things I'm aware because I love this album to death.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so the what was the album before this again? Astonishing. So I
Yeah.
love
Astonishing.
the album cover of Distance Over Time. I really like
That
looking
album
at
cover was controversial, by the way. They had
really.
a similar. Somebody posted. I'm not sure.
What's this?
Uh,
This astonishing.
distance. No, distance over
Distance.
time.
I, I wouldn't be
Similar.
surprised if there's something similar. To be honest.
Yeah, no. Somebody posted something similar about. I just forgot.
Yeah,
I'll try to
later.
bring it up later if I find it. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I remember that. Na may kamukhang
Yeah.
it looks like another prog band's album cover.
Yeah.
No,
Where's
I
the
know yung ano. Oh, what's the first album after umalis ni Portnoy?
Di-
Dramatic Turn.
The
yeah,
dramatic turn of
dramatic turn
events
of it.
looks like a Circus Maximus
Oh yeah,
album
yeah.
cover. Yun ang alam ko.
First chapter.
Oh.
First chapter, yep.
Because of the
Very close.
unicycle.
Yeah.
Because of the unicycle.
Mm.
Um Other album artwork um there's scandals that I aware is yung Live in New York, Scenes from New York. 'Di ba the first album cover of that one is yung Twin Towers
Mm.
with the Sacred Heart and then suddenly 9/11 happened.
Happened. Mm.
So they changed the album cover of Scenes from New York
Oh,
because
sorry.
of that.
Sorry to cut you, Chris. It's the New
Mhm.
York Times. New York
New York
Times
Times, yeah.
magazine. Yeah, there you go.
Magazine
Very
cover.
similar.
Very
Yeah.
similar. No? So it's not an album cover from another band.
No, it's
It's a okay,
it's
okay.
like a montage
It's like a
or something. Yeah.
reversed one, diba? Mark,
Yeah,
it's like
reverse
a
one.
reverse. Yeah.
Same robotic hand. Say
And that's gonna
almost
be
the
a
same
problem.
skull. Yeah.
Whoever did
Okay.
this one needs to be fired.
Um okay. So
Okay.
down to the last one. I hated to
Last
put
one.
this here. I hated to put this here.
Oh,
I
okay.
hated to
Oh,
put this here, but I would have to. Um, Alien is a good song. What's the other single? Forgot. Invisible Monsters a good song.
Invisible
Awaken the
Monster. Yeah.
Master. They're all good songs, but they're it in my ears they're rehash of previous riffs. Just played with an
Pre-
eight string
okay.
instead.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, because this is the first album John produced using an eight string.
Yeah.
So in my ears, some of the riffs sounded like Systematic Chaos, but with an eight string, or Nightmare to Remember with an eight string. So something like that. So I'm a bit biased towards the album,
Mhm.
just because of. So the eight string move was kind of a double edged sword in my opinion.
Mhm. I have a question for you, Chris, regarding
Mm-hmm.
that one. For the
Mm-hmm.
songs that you listened for A View for the Top of the World, as a guitar player,
Mm-hmm.
were you able to like hear the difference in that one? Because honestly, I can't hear. I mean, like which song is he using the eight string for?
Um.
Can you
Yeah.
hear
I
any
mean,
difference in playing, difference
no, no, no,
in
no.
chord
The style
structure?
is still the same. It's just some notes are lower, so there's more frame.
Okay, okay. There.
So I mean to my ears at least. But yun nga. So I felt like the riffs were I heard this somewhere else. So that kind of feeling. I heard it in some other album, but not as low tuning as this. So that's why I feel like there's better because you can um there are a lot of great dream theater experiences like images and words, scenes from a memory.
Yeah.
Um it's just that if those didn't exist and this is their only album, this is a masterpiece on its own. It's just that it's
Mm,
just shadowed by the other ones that they've done previously.
yeah.
In This is in my opinion. So that's my list.
Okay,
Nice.
it's good. I mean, we're
I
all
like
going
it
to have our
actually.
own preferences talaga kung
Mhm.
tutuusin.
Exactly.
So, yeah, again, your May is falling to infinity and also the astonishing. There's better a view from the top. Tama ba? Di ba? Good is when Dream Day Unite, Octavarium, Systematic Chaos. Great albums are Awake, 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, Train of Thought, and I keep on
Distance.
forgetting the name of
Distance.
this album. Dramatic Turn of Events.
Sure.
Masterpiece, of course, INW, Images and Words, Scenes
Mm-hmm.
from a Memory, Black Clouds and Silver Linings, and also Distance Over Time. So, again, awesome. Great, great. So, I think it's my turn. Sorry, kumain
Yeah.
ako. Hindi pa ako kumakain ng dinner. Totoo. Sorry, munguya akong konting chocolate. So, let me just share mine also. So, siguro sa akin, it's not going to be 100% controversial, pero let's see. Just to be honest, you'll see na medyo mababa yung mga newer albums just because I haven't really dove into those. Again, chronologically, go ahead with yung Dream and Day Unite. I will put it here. There's better. Honestly, there's a lot more better albums than this one. Tutusin. And production wise, again, one of the weakest links na meron dito is production. You can't blame the Dream Theater because this is the first album. And I think Atco Records pa yata sila dito. So medyo lower tier pa.
Yeah.
So what
Mm-hmm.
I think when they perform some of the songs in their live Octavarium, live in New York thing,
Mhm.
mas maganda siya. Kung
Mm-hmm.
tutusin.
Yeah.
I would like to hear an updated version of this one with Portnoy, but I guess that's not gonna happen anymore. So sad.
Don't lose hope, man. Don't lose hope. Ako, I'm
Yeah,
still, to be honest, I'm still hoping.
hopefully. Mhm. I think they've already patched up things now, especially with
Yeah.
James also.
Yeah.
I
It's
To be honest, just to add to that,
mm,
if Dominici covers this entire album using with his band, I would love to
Oh
hear
yeah.
that.
I
Oh,
want to hear that also.
nice.
Might be better, diba?
Yeah.
We really don't know. Might be
He's still
better.
getting royalties from this album, by the way.
Mhm.
Mm.
Charlie Dominici posted it in, I think, in Facebook or in Instagram that he received a check from Dream Theater. So he is getting royalties for this one.
Which is good, diba? I mean,
Yeah.
he is an integral part of DT,
Yeah.
especially the beginning.
Mhm.
Um, Again, no contest. INW always going to be a masterpiece. The reason why, look it up, fellows. Mga hindi pa nakakapakinig ng ng images and words. From start,
Magkakapatayan tayo dyan pag hindi yan nandyan.
yeah, from start to finish, all of the tracks are great. And Dream Theater actually went into stardom because of the opening track, which is "Pull Me Under." If that song didn't hit MTV, I'm not sure if they had the level of success that they have right now. Kasi doon nagsimula yung career nila kung tutuusin when they got a big bump just because of a very low tech and also low budgeted MTV of diba? Of Pull Me Under. And somehow it resonated especially with the metal fans. My favorites on this one, basically almost everything. But in particular, I would say Learning to Live would be up there and also Metropolis Part 2. Sorry,
Part
Part
one.
1.
Mhm. Nice.
Except for the, yun nga, sabi ni, ni Mark kanina, the stupid ghost notes on the snare, which is sounding like trigger stuff, which kahit sila, meron din sila, reklamo on that one. But it's an awesome album. Surrounded is also a good one. Take the Time. I love Take the Time,
Yeah.
but I I enjoyed its MTV. I'm not sure if you guys also enjoyed the MTV. But
Yeah, I
it's
did.
a
I
bit
did.
Renaissance feel.
But nobody watched it in MTV. They aired
Yeah,
it, but nobody watched it.
Mm.
that's very but it's very weird because this MTV or the MTV of the song came in a time that hair metal was still a thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. Maybe it's because of the prog stuff that
Yeah.
they also cut the song on almost half, diba? They cut the
They
song
did.
in half.
They cut a lot of solos actually.
Mhm.
Mm. But it's very memorable. Wait for Sleep is also a good song. Again, when it comes to ballads, um, same na pare-pares tayo ng reklamo when it comes to Silent Man. That it's like
Okay.
the odd thing out.
'Di
Here,
ba?
Wait
They
for
were able to
Sleep.
do it here eh.
Yeah,
With
Wait
Wait
for
for
Sleep.
Sleep.
Maybe because of the theme going directly to Learning to Live.
To live. Yeah.
Diba?
Mm. Yeah.
It could be. It's the same with Vacant and also Stream of Consciousness. So yeah, let's see. Here's probably going to be a bit controversial, but this belongs here for me. Awake is going to be
Oh.
my
I'm not surprised.
masterpiece
I'm not
because this is
surprised.
the first album that I listened to in its entirety, and I still listen to a lot of the songs till today, but not as much when it comes to Space Divest.
Mhm.
Um, the, I think that's probably the weakest song in this album for me, Space Divest, for some reason. But again, as I said with Mark earlier, Ergotomania is probably the best instrumental for me.
Mhm.
Some people may say that it's not the most technical. I think Chris would agree that it isn't the most technical song, but
It's not.
the range of emotions that you have with Ergotomania for me, it rivals what I feel when I listen to The Count of Tuscany.
Mhm.
So that says
Oh.
a lot about the song. Yeah, that says a lot
Oh.
about the song.
Kasi speaking
Um,
about whether it's the most difficult, it's not because obviously Dance of Eternity is more
yeah,
technical.
but there's something about this song that I enjoyed a lot, especially the Silent Man part. I want to
Mm.
hear the an extended
Yeah.
part of that section, but for this being some sort of an overture kung tutusin or a medley, this worked pretty well for me. And ano pa ba? 6 o'clock, definitely. Great intro. Who would ever forget that every
Mhm.
time? It's very hard then. It's very hard to replicate kung tutusin. Especially in skill level na mababa lang ako. I can't really do it, but I enjoyed listening to it. Uh, Caught in the Web was also good. a bit metal na, and also Innocence Faded has a soft spot in my heart also.
Mhm.
Sorry, for some reason, I don't know, it could be the pacing of the song na nagustuhan ko. I really can't identify, but I enjoyed Innocence Faded. But all those three, and then again going down to Silent Man for some reason. Okay.
I feel the same way for Innocence Faded because it's very dancey tune.
Yes,
Ta
it
ta da
is.
dun,
For me,
dun,
what
dun, dun, dun.
for me, what's I'm not sure if I'm right, no, but I think it's the for me what's interesting about Innocence Faded is the acoustic guitar
Part
overdubs
drum. Parang
in
Ah,
the
drum.
in the intro in the intro. Yeah, I mean it's there as like some sort of a backbone, but it gives
Mm.
so much body to that intro. It's not too heavy, but it's not too light either. For
Ah.
me, the it's the acoustic guitar parts. Is there any, am I right? Is there an acoustic guitar sound
Yes, there.
in that
There
intro?
is.
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I
mhm.
I can't
I
identify
thought
if
it was
Chris
just a
would
guitar.
agree.
I thought it was just
Yeah.
electric guitar with chorus on. Eh. So yeah. Okay. So
Mm.
there's an acoustic pala.
Years ago, ano tingin mo dun? Did it have acoustic guitar?
Definitely help make the song a bit more poppy, more,
There you
Mm.
go.
So
Yeah.
meron nga.
'di ba?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why it contributes to the what I said earlier. It's very dancey tune because of the tempo and the
And
so
also yung ano niya, yung guitar, yung drum parts niya is also a bit,
'di ba?
it's prog. Yun na yan, it's prog.
Yeah.
It's really
Tapos
prog.
the hook of the chorus is very pop,
And
'di ba?
Yeah.
also the
Very.
dance, the last part, the outro, it was
Yeah.
very
The
heavy
way
and
they
also
change it up.
very, they speed it up. Okay, so there, Lie was also a good song for me, especially the
Definitely.
Yeah.
uncut one. Not the MTV. The
Not
MTV's
the
watered
MTV.
down, watered
Yeah.
very watered down. Scarred. Oh no, the Mirror also has a very good intro. Remember
Yeah.
Papus and Acid, diba? They've been using the intro of the Mirror
Yeah.
even on their promotion of Images and
Images and
Words.
words. Yeah.
Mm.
Let me
So,
just add
diba?
to Lai, ah. To me,
Yeah.
Lai is one of Labri's best vocal performances.
Yes.
Sobrang intense ng
Yes.
emotion niya.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. It's also the first time that we're hearing a little bit of dirt in his vocals.
'Di ba? May
Mm.
grit.
Yeah, may grit eh, no? Kasi I think in Images and Words, it was all clean eh. It was very
Mostly, yeah.
clean. Yeah, mostly, no?
'Di ba dito may
Yeah. Sorry.
galit yung ano niya,
May
eh, yung voice
galit,
niya,
yeah.
'di ba? So I
Um,
really
Yeah.
like that.
Nice,
I'm sorry
nice.
guys, I need to ano muna to switch to Avatar kasi humihina yung internet ko. So,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Okay.
sorry. So, Mark, you're on your own when it comes to camera right now. I'll try to return later, but yeah. But yeah, there's a lot more here. I mean, again, the best ballad, rock ballad for me is going to be Lifting Shadows of a Dream. So,
Mhm.
Wow.
eh, ewan ko. I just enjoyed listening to that song, especially the live version that they have in I forgot the
5 years in
name
a
of that.
lifetime.
Yeah,
I
5 years
love
in a
that.
lifetime.
I love that version. I
Mm,
love that version.
it's great. It's really
Yeah.
great. So all of the good stuff I could say about this album, just because this would be for me the pioneer, the very first Dream Theater album that I listened to, and I really enjoyed. And I also agree with Kuya Eric Tubon when he mentioned that this is um years ahead of its time, and also one of the
Yeah.
darkest album that they made during the time. And kung nandito lang siguro yung EP, which is Change of Seasons, I'm going to place that in great just because of the
Hmm.
Change of Seasons.
Yeah, I
When
was
it
about
comes
to
to
say na wala yung Change of Seasons
no, because
for
it's
this
an EP
band.
man eh.
Yeah,
It's
kaya
not
nga eh.
really
So it's an
mm,
EP.
sadly,
Mhm.
but yeah, there it goes. Ah, when it comes to this album, I'm probably going to place this. It just went up a notch for me. So Falling into Infinity has a lot of
Nice.
flaws. You guys already mentioned. I'm not going to add further.
Mhm.
But the main selling point for this one is Hell's Kitchen and also Lions in the Sand. Plus
Yeah.
Trials of Tears for me. Yung mga prog elements na nagustuhan ko, Hollow Years I didn't really enjoy as much as the Live at Bodokan. Live
Yeah.
Budokan is actually the perfect way that you need to
To
play that
play.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Even the music video didn't make sense.
uh, they're trying to push it to a wider audience.
Yeah, yeah.
This was really the breaking point of the band, as you guys said. If the next album didn't work, they could have probably called it quits. So I'm going to place this one here. No, it's here, of course. Since From a Memory is going to
Nice.
be a masterpiece.
Kinabahan ako sa light.
But there was a time that I would place it here just because I didn't
Oh,
Mhm.
understand back then what's happening.
Ah, okay,
Yeah, 'di
okay.
ba? Alam niyo 'yun, parang hindi ko back then I can't understand why this was made this way. The songs weren't really resonating that much, but it's Dream Theater and it's cool. Yun siguro yung rason ko before. But as time went by and I understood the parts more, also the structure of the songs, it made perfect sense that this is a masterpiece for even
Diba?
for me.
Acquired taste
Mhm,
sometimes.
yeah. Uh Siguro, what I really enjoyed here, more than the album itself, is live scenes. I enjoyed live scenes for
yes.
much more than this album, the recorded one. It doesn't mean that this is subpar. It just means that Dream Theater lived up to their name as also a good or great or an excellent live band, especially Finally Free. Imagine playing in the drum solo in that song na sobrang pagod na si Portnoy. So yeah, I enjoyed everything about this album. There are some songs that I enjoyed less, but it didn't tarnish the experience. So when it comes to 6 degrees of inner turbulence, I'm in the middle because you guys said that you enjoyed the first album on this two-part disc. I enjoyed the second one far better. Maybe because I'm a concept album guy.
Mhm.
On the first disc, I enjoyed the Glass Prison the most. The other ones I felt a bit draggy for some sense. Blind Fate was probably the second one, but it wasn't memorable. But I'm still going to rank it as high as this, just because I enjoyed the second album a lot more. And also, Prison for me is essential Dream Theater listening. Talaga. If you want to
Oh,
hear,
essential. Yeah.
yeah, if you want to hear Dream Theater in its wildest, you have to listen to The Glass Prison. People might say that, even me, I could say that Glass Prison could have belonged on the next album, which is Train of Thought, just because of the heaviness of that. But yun nga yun eh, parang yun yung ginanda ng 6 degrees, that they already have a mindset na we are going to go heavier. And it was a consensus from
Yeah.
all of the members that, yeah. So when it comes to Train of Thought, all of the songs are good. I'm not going to say necessarily great. Siguro As I Am was a great opener for me. Ano yung pangalan ng pangalawang song? This Dying Soul
It's dying
was
soul.
a
Yeah.
yeah, This Dying Soul. I'm not sure if you guys will agree. Medyo convoluted siya for my taste. For my taste, siguro I can't explain. Pero
Yeah.
there's some parts dito na parang sa tingin ko pinilit nilang ilagay. I enjoyed the ragtime parts and also yung heaviness ng song. But if we include all of the six or the 21 step, I think the 7 step, I forgot.
12.
12 step,
12 step. Yeah.
suite, it fits in perfectly. So again, it's just another Dream Theaterism na siguro
Okay.
linagay lang nila for that. But it does fit in the theme of Dream Theater being a progressive metal band at this point. Um, Third song, ano yung third song nito? Tingnan mo, hindi ko na maalala. Because it's been a very long time
Sorry.
since I
Endless sacrifice.
and the sacrifice
Yun.
was good. I enjoyed the
Yeah.
solos on that one,
Actually, I
and
love the
also
chorus on this
the
that
chorus
one.
also.
Yeah.
Hmm. And then I think number 4 is Vacant at that
Honor.
point. Honor pa? Yeah, Honor
Ah.
Thy Father. I enjoy the drums on that that song. I enjoy the
That
drums on that song.
that's a Portnoy song.
That
Es-
was a
So
Portnoy
yeah,
song.
yeah.
especially I loved it more when I watched Portnoy's instructional video the
Yeah.
in constant motion when
I have
he
that.
broke down that
How he
song,
yeah,
how he performed it. Oh my goodness.
it was good.
That's
Galing.
I mean,
yeah.
it was great to be honest. Siguro may parts nandun na medyo ano, na-bore out ako. It's in the middle part yung don't cross the crooked step. And then after nun parang paulit-ulit na siya, which na
Oh
medyo
yeah.
nakakatulog ako,
Mm.
which
Parang
is a bit drag.
nakapalm mute yung ano,
Oh, 'di ba umulit-ulit siya? I think the
paulit-ulit
reason
siya.
why
Yeah.
umulit-ulit siya because when you listen to the album, there are parts there na may nagsasalita, which is not part of the live performance most of the time. So,
Mhm.
for me,
Mm.
humaba siya. Well,
When
when
they
listening
play
to
it
right
live,
now,
no? When
yeah,
they
'di ba
play it live,
humaba siya.
humahaba. Oo.
Oo, humaba siya. Well, for me, it's okay naman. Siguro the problem here is when you hear it great, when it comes to recording, you're expecting almost everything to be there in live. And sometimes they
Yeah.
don't use the samples, the voice samples in live. When I
Yeah.
was looking for the videos of Honor Thy Father live performance, yung part na yun, parang butas siya.
Butas. Yeah.
So it's still good. Vacant was a good introduction to um, Stream of
Stream.
Consciousness, and Stream of Consciousness probably as technical as Dance of Eternity was. I'm leaning more into Stream of Consciousness a lot more when it comes to technicality. You guys might disagree. It might be the structure of the song na masinto ako. I'm not saying Dance of Eternity is lower. Siguro yung
Mhm.
structure nito, they made it work because this time around, this is a 10-minute instrumental, which they
Yeah.
haven't done in a very long time. Kung
Mhm.
tutuusin. Except
At
for
that
the...
point, no? At that point. Yeah.
Kasi, di ba, when we're talking about prog, when it comes to instrumentals, mas effective or the shorter ones were quite more effective rather than the longer ones. Here they made
Uh-huh.
it work to the point that
Mhm.
you don't get bored
Yeah.
when you listen to the song. And then that's a good lead into In the Name of God, which
Yeah.
is there are a lot of crazy stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Especially the solo and also the ragtime parts and also the unison parts I enjoyed a lot. And
No, sorry, going back to
go,
stream
go,
of
go.
conscious, I think they were able to make it work despite
Mhm.
being a long instrumental because
Yeah.
you have tons of experience doing liquid tension experiment at this point.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
going back, diba?
Then
Parang
harking
going
back to that kind of so there.
it was
Have
still
a
fresh.
I have a question for Chris regarding stream of consciousness. Again, guitar player perspective. Kasi nga,
Okay.
JM mentioned about the comparison between um, Dance of Eternity and Stream of Consciousness.
Mhm.
Both are great instrumentals. Both have complicated
Mhm.
parts.
Yes. Mhm.
Uh, would you say that in Stream of Consciousness, the guitar tone, the distorted guitar tone in Stream of Consciousness is a lot more heavier than the distorted tone in Dance of Eternity.
Yeah,
Because
definitely,
for yeah,
definitely.
because for me, when I listen to Stream of Consciousness, because when you listen to Train of Thought itself, you're met with As I Am, This
Yeah.
Dying Soul, Endless
Mhm.
Sacrifice. All of them are like balls on metal songs, eh. And then you have this I'm not sure if they have odd times in Stream of Consciousness, but
Mhm.
There
it's like
is.
the first time as me as a Dream Theater fan, it's actually the first time I'm hearing a song that has odd times that has that metal heavy tone because
Mhm.
I'm used to Dance of Eternity, eh.
'Di ba?
Yung
Yeah.
hindi sobrang bigat yung guitar tone. But
Mhm.
in this one, we hear that heavy, but they're playing odd times, and then they're playing like this syncopated patterns and whatnot.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Would you agree on that one? And then, as a guitar player, does it work in terms
Um
of metal prog or prog rock or something? Sa
um
based sa perspective ni JM, kasi ang ganda nung sinabi niya about how he liked Stream of Consciousness a little bit over Dance of Eternity.
interesting.
Kasi ang go to kasi lagi ng tao is what's
Dance.
the Dance of Eternity. Yun ang
Mm.
pinaka-komplikadong, that's the most complicated song ever ng Dream Theater. But
Mhm.
here's JM, sinasabi niya, na-intriga din ako eh. I was very intrigued dun sa ano niya.
That he prefers this one,
Yes, oo.
'di ba?
As a guitar
Um
player.
Definitely it's heavier. It's more yun nga, sabi mo balls on the wall. The production itself, 'di ba? Kasi if he used the same guitar tone do sa Dance of Eternity, sobrang bigat nung chadadadat 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 na part,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Meshuggah part.
'di ba?
Meshuggah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, definitely the tone is heavier. But you know what's interesting? Kasi you know Petrucci likes to do his stuff, 'di ba? Likes to show his stuff, 'di ba? He would shred. But um what's interesting about the stream of consciousness is because the keyboard parts captivated me more
Yeah,
than the
I
guitar
agree.
parts.
Siguro
To be
that's the
honest.
reason why. That's the reason why
Mhm.
siguro I'm more leaning
Stream of consciousness.
with stream of consciousness because
Mhm.
of the keyboard parts here are far more tawag dito, accentuated kumpara sa Dance of Eternity.
You have to
Yes.
listen
And
to it again. Wow.
yeah, you have to listen to it again. And
For me,
alam mo,
the keyboard parts stand out. So more than the guitar. So as a guitar player, that says a lot about the song, right? Or the piece. So I think nag-give way naman talaga si John Peterson, and I give credit to him for that, to let Rudes stand out on this particular track.
so
And I
yun.
think
Nice.
that's why it worked a lot, because yun nga, it's not boring, because it's not guitar centric uh most of the time, 'di ba? So
Yung
I
maganda
think
part
that's
yun,
good, 'di ba?
yung maganda part yun, den, tada den, 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 den,
'Di
den,
ba?
tada
Dun,
den,
dun, dun,
Ganda
den,
ng
dun,
den,
dun,
pagka-ano niya
den,
eh.
dun, dun.
Uh,
yung part na yun talagang, yung rhythm na yun talagang, for me,
mm,
it lasted a very long time. As opposed to Dance of Eternity, ano ba naaalala mo? Usually, it's the intro. Most of the time, yung intro. It's either that or yung jazz part nun.
yep.
Diba? Yung,
Tsaka yung ending.
honky tonk nila.
Dun, 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 dun.
Uh,
'Di ba?
Unlike
So,
here, for me, mas naaalala ko yung buong kanta ng na, or at least the entirety of Stream of Consciousness from beginning to
start
end.
to finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
saying
I'm
that that Dance of Eternity is far less. It's
no.
probably what Chris said a while ago. It depends on taste.
'Di
It
ba? The
really depends
LSS
on
Yeah,
your
factor
preference.
eh. The LSS
Mm.
factor.
And
yeah.
since I'm
That's a big part.
more leaning to keyboard players,
Mhm.
siguro that's the reason.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I enjoy it far
Ah,
more.
okay, okay.
Mm.
Nice.
So so
So
that's my take on it, na the keyboard stand out for me on that
Mm-mm.
track more than the guitar part. So, yun.
mm. Pero underrated din yung bass dito
Mm-mm.
ni Mayong. Rinig na rinig yung bass dito sa
Oo, dinig na dinig.
Maganda
here
yung
And
ano.
and
I love Portnoy's drum sound here. It's very I mean very
the attack.
specifically the snare.
Mm.
Parang it pops eh.
Honor Thy Father,
Litaw
diba?
na litaw. Oo, litaw
Mm.
na litaw. It's just
Good.
there. Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to Octavarium, yeah, sorry. I mean, I enjoy a lot of
Okay.
songs here. To be honest, I enjoy
Okay.
almost everything except for The Answer Lies Within. But Chris is right. There, most of the songs here are dragging when you listen. The replayability of the album is probably one of the best things when you're going to look where to stand when it comes to rating them.
Mhm.
And as much as I love Octavarium, the title track itself, I cannot listen to the first 7 minutes of the song na paulit-ulit. It's very boring for me.
Okay.
Diba? When you compare long form songs from a different band, let's say The Odyssey,
Yep.
Symphony X,
Mhm.
compare mo
Yeah.
dito, ang hirap pakinggan nito. But
Yes.
when it hits yung full circle, ayan na.
Ayan
It
na,
took a
yeah.
very long time between the ballad part until full circle. Na parang ako, if you're a normal music fan, you're going to lose interest, to be
Mhm.
honest.
Mhm.
But unlike the three of us, we have at least a deeper understanding when it comes to prog. We are going to understand what's going on.
Yep.
This is the good part. I think both of John Petrucci and also Jordan Rudess learned, for me, how I see it. They both learned how to tone it down when it comes to Count of Tuscany, diba? They tried to do the same
Yeah.
element on the first 7 minutes of the song on Count. Later, I'm going to discuss that. But
Okay.
I enjoyed almost all of the songs here. Again, except for The Answer Lies Within. It's very boring for me. Even yung ano ang tawag dun, yung U2 song nila, I forgot. You
I walk
remember?
beside you.
Walk Beside You was still good. I
Very
love it.
good. Yeah.
It's simple, but it's still rocking.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
the lyrics itself, it's very uplifting. Panic Attack, I love the dan, the dan, bam,
Yep.
bam, 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 bam.
Bang
That the
song.
rhythm. Also,
That
and
It literally makes you have like
headbang.
a panic attack of some
Yeah.
Yeah.
sort. Like when you get to listen to it.
That was part of the instructional, right? Panic Attack. That was also
Yeah.
part of the instructional.
Yes. Yes.
So he dissected that there. Ang ganda yung pakinggan. And Chris, yung isang kanta nila na
Which one?
yung Sacrifice Sons was also a good song.
Oh, that's a
Mm.
very good song.
Mm.
I actually like
Where
the intro on that one. The news. Uh, yeah.
the
The I mean
9/11
no,
thing, diba?
the 9/11 thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was good. And where is when it comes to train of thought, yung honor their father, yung don't cross a crooked step na umulit-ulit.
Yeah.
It also happened here. Yung den 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 umulit-ulit
Yeah.
din dito, pero you weren't bored for some
Yeah.
reason. So
Mhm.
yung process na yun, parang siguro ako lang when it comes to me comparing it, there are some teams na parang umuulit na, pero may edge yung Sacrifice Sons because they stuck into it pero nag-iiba ng konti. As opposed to yung yung paulit-ulit nun na parang
I think I think
sige, go ahead.
I think the factor in Sacrifice Sons that yung part na yun yung instrumental na you're comparing it dun sa Honor Thy Father. I think it's
Mm.
because of yung
Is it
different
the
parts
keyboard again?
na no, I think it's the drums Kasi he had a different dynamic in each section dun sa Sacrifice Son Diba?
Yeah, siguro, yeah.
And then that's the part when you see yung live yung score. That's the
Mm,
part where Portnoy transfers to his bigger kit
mm.
Yung
Mm.
mabilis na part.
Siamese Monster
Teden.
two-headed kit.
Oo.
Mm.
Yan. Teden. And
I love it.
then may mga half time siya something and then normal time siya. I think it's the drums.
And also
The
yung
drum parts.
yung part na nag-backbeat na siya, 'di ba?
Yes.
Nag-iba yung
Yun.
dynamic.
Isa pa yun.
It
Yeah.
totally changes the dynamic of the song.
Yeah.
And also, again, the live version of this is far better than the recorded one. So that's one thing I always tell people though, if you like to enjoy doing theater, you have to watch the live first, and you're going to understand how good they are. If you want to listen to the albums, that's fine also. Is this an album actually I would actually recommend to people for first time listeners that, as they say? No. What I'm going to recommend to
Okay.
you is depending on what you've been listening before. If you're a heavy listener, I'm probably going to give you Awake or Train of Thought. If you are more a poppy listener, I'm probably going to give you Images and Words. If you like something more in depth, I'm definitely going to give you Scenes from a Memory. So it really depends yung preference ng tao. But siguro for a casual listener na parang hindi talaga familiar when it comes to prog, probably I'm going
Mhm.
to give him to this. But there's going to be a warning, especially on the title track. You might get bored out in the first 7 minutes of that song. So again, it's a good. The only restriction why it's not going to be great is because of the boredom that I felt in the last part, and also the answer lies within. Yun lang talaga. Here's going to be a very controversial take. I'm going to place this here. Systematic Chaos.
Oh.
That
Interesting.
before kasi it was here. You know
Okay.
why? Because it's not bias. It maybe is because I'm writing some stuff right now. I'm writing stories. And in the
Ah.
presence of enemies 1 and 2, is very instrumental on how I'm doing my character. And when it comes to this album kasi, and also both of those songs, even John Petrucci himself said that it was influenced on some sort of a manga, which is Priest. So, may anime feel ang In the Presence of Enemies.
Mm.
And I felt that when I was writing some stories, because I'm currently writing a story right now. Siyempre ako yung bida sa story. But hindi yung pangalan ko. Ibang tao. Ibang name. This is, I don't know. Siguro tanongin muna natin si Chris. Chris, when it comes to heaviness, this versus Train of Thought.
Um, Personal opinion. Well, systematic chaos is um heavier, I think, drum wise, or the way
Mm,
the drums was produced, at least to my ears.
mm,
So, but the riffs themselves, I think, Train of Thought is heavier riff wise.
mm. Okay. How about you,
Mm.
Mark?
I'd have to agree with in terms of actually even the guitar tone. For me, that's it's what I'm hearing. Train of Thought is heavier
Mm,
compared to systematic chaos. But
okay.
for yeah, I mean, systematic chaos has its own ambitions. Has its
Yeah,
own point. Yeah, it has its
that's true.
own ambitions. So it's a very what's that song that they had the fans sing?
Forsaken?
Prophets of War.
Hours
Ah,
War?
I I actually like that song. I love
Mm,
that song. Very simple. I think yung lead ata ni Petrucci dyan was just octaves eh. I'm not dun, 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 dun,
uh,
dun. But it's very catchy, very it's has that what's that Rage Against the Machine
vibe.
vibe that I want to rebel to something whatever when I
Mm-hmm.
hear that song. Prophets of War. Yeah.
I think that's also the thing, di ba? When it comes to songs and also albums, which would be the more influential thing, tracks na meron? For me, halos lahat. I haven't listened to Prophets of War in a very long time. Pero umiikot yung iPod ko in this album recently just because of In the Presence of Enemies 1 and 2. And it really helps me a lot. And also, yung, hindi alam ni Krista, pero may kanta sa Project Materia that I
Mm-hmm.
totally ripped off In the Presence of Enemies Part 2. The ending. We may part doon na medyo minodify ko because we were playing Final Fantasy X to Xanarkand, The Skies
Yeah.
Above. May
Mm-hmm.
part doon na yun ang linagay ko. So
Okay.
I might send you guys if you're interested in looking at it. Talagang ginaya ko yung
Mm.
baksakan. Talagang
Okay.
if you're not a DT fan,
You won't
you're not going
recognize
to
it.
get. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're a DT fan, this sounds something like In the Presence of Enemies because pasok na pasok siya. And also, I love the lyrical the lyrical input na meron yung song na yun. Dark Eternal Night wasn't that much, but the heaviness of that song was really good. Forsaken made little to no sense, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the MTV. I actually enjoyed because to be honest, if they were trying to touch a mainstream audience, I would probably push um Forsaken a lot more.
Mhm.
Mas ano siya, mas accessible siya sa masa,
Accessible.
di ba? As compared to this is the funny thing. That would be more accessible to the masses as opposed to the entire Falling to Infinity album, di ba?
Oh.
For me. Kasi simple lang yung I mean, maganda yung solo.
Yeah.
Maganda yung
Yep.
solo ng tawag dito, ng Forsaken. And the song itself sounds a bit like what you said, Mark.
Mhm.
It's a bit of fantasy. And
Yeah.
also the visuals of the MTV is also very fantasy related. So,
It's about
yung mga
vampires, yung Forsaken,
yeah.
di ba?
I
Yeah.
think lumabas pa nga to during the time nung Twilight, yung pinakauna.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But here's
About
the
the same thing.
interesting trivia when it comes to this. Medyo nag-fall flat siya before kasi may kasabay itong album na sobrang ganda. And it's also from a prog band called Symphony X, which is Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Sabay release.
yeah.
Same year. Same year. Or same month. Is it same month?
This is the thing that Chad Robles and I were talking about back then. Now, why did Systematic Chaos didn't receive that much love? It's because of that
Was
decision.
Paradise Lost.
Yeah, it was because
that makes sense. That makes sense.
that it's because Paradise Lost was a far better album, but it's not going to touch the masses. When you're a big prog fan, definitely you're going to go for Symphony X. When you're a metal fan, siguro, and also a casual fan, mas mag-resonate ka dito. And then the title track itself, I know the first track and also the last track is also a deal breaker for me kasi na-enjoy ko siya ng todo. So that's why I place it in masterpiece. Siguro in a time na I'm not writing anything, this would go down here.
Okay.
But this is different circumstances. This is bias. Unfortunately, I'm placing you here. So, okay. So this one definitely here. Just because of the Count of Tuscany. It's also part of my inspiration writing right now. And Mark and I have been talking about the Count of Tuscany for some time na. I love that song to heart, definitely. And Nightmare to Remember is another thing na maganda rin siya. Again, if I was going to make an album more metal, I would have placed it there. Actually, it's more metal than most. Ano pa ba maganda dito? I keep on forgetting the songs, guys. I'm sorry. What's the name, Mark, of the song na ginawa ni Portnoy para sa tatay niya?
Best of Times.
Best of Times was also good.
Yeah,
I love
that
the
made me
solo.
cry actually. That song made me
Heartfelt.
cry.
Super.
Yeah, it's very heartfelt. And to be honest, the Count of Tuscany alone, that was already a great song for that album. Wala na akong hihingin pa. Kung sabihin natin linabas na yun as a single track, definitely I'm going to buy it. Ano pa ba maganda doon? Weather was also good, to be honest. Weather was also good. It's also another attempt for a mainstream audience. I'm not sure what happened there, pero hindi rin siya ganun kasikat. Pero for us, we probably appreciate it a lot more. Rite of Passage, a bit. Shattered Fortress was excellent for me.
Yeah,
And
I think it's because of the finale feel of that song.
and how the song ends. Talaga. How the song ends, it's just
Full
going
circle, no?
back
Full
glass
circle.
prison. I should also mention Repentance. That was
Oh yeah.
a bit off-putting when you listen to the entire what they call this Systematic Chaos. Parang medyo alanganin siya, but they made it work for some reason. It still worked talaga. So
And the vocal guests on that one as well, right? Neil
yeah,
Moore, Steve Vai, Corey
you also
Taylor.
have Corey Taylor, diba?
Yeah.
And the special tracks on this one, most of it were covers. You have Stargazer there in sa Rainbow, and also my favorite, yung Odyssey cover nila of Dixie
yeah.
Drex.
Oh,
That was excellent. That itself maganda na siya. So I'm going to place it at good. Great album because I really enjoyed that much. Honestly, this remaining 5 halos wala akong pinakinggan. So siguro dito, I'm going to place it here. Kasi hindi ko talaga na-enjoy. For some reason, I was pissed off because Mike left the band, and then all of the drama, all of that, I was expecting for something better. I don't know if I should re-listen to it, but I'm going to place it here. Also, this one, I'm still going to place it here. Again, guys, I agree. Illumination Theory itself, maganda na siya. Pero the entire thing, hindi ko siya na-enjoy. Enemy Within was also a good song, a good attempt. Again, it falls flat when it comes to the drum parts. Yung snare drum dito naman, Genie, it sounds a lot more like a basketball. Going up and up court.
I could just imagine yung, I don't know kung sa mic ba or no, but I could just imagine kung gaano kakapal yung snare na ginamit, yung depth ng snare na ginamit ni Mangini dito.
Kasi when you listen to it in Boston, iba yata yung tunog, di ba? Live at
Iba
Boston
yung tunog.
Opera. It was different. So there were
Very
some
different.
recording choices here and I didn't enjoy. Um, should I re-listen to it? Only time would tell. Siguro if I try to revisit it. Astonishing, didn't enjoy it at all, except for a couple of songs. You guys are correct. This could have worked if it was an Arjun Lucasen project or
Yep.
something of similar type na ginawa nila. If it's Star One, siguro mas maganda pa.
Mhm.
Chris was
Or
right.
Broadway.
If it was made into a direction na Broadway, if you guys are familiar with Circle of Illusion, kung yung attacking
Oh,
nila
yeah.
ginawa nila sa Circle of
Mm.
Illusion, same way here, this could have been a better song.
Yep.
Sorry, better album.
Album.
And also, Chris is correct. There are a lot of filler songs in this album that should have been left in the cutting room floor. And also, may reaction kami dalawa ni Kuya Eric when it comes to the intro title, yung Overture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They use Jordan Rudess use samples on that one. Kay Kuya Eric na nanggaling mismo. Na
Mhm.
parang, are they, for me, parang, is he losing creativity at this? Yun yung parang yung pinoint out ni
Running
Kuya
dry.
Eric. Well, I'm not sure. But it's something na they could have done better, or maybe they could have done it in a more organized manner. Hindi natin alam talaga. This is very tough. I might put it here at good. But then again, I haven't listened to a lot of it, so I'm going to put it in there's better. Again, may disclaimer ako when it comes to the last 5 albums. I really haven't dove into it. Talaga.
Kaya if you're gonna dive into one of them, this is what I recommend also. Distance over time.
This is overtime.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying
over the
also.
other ones. Yeah.
How about
que-
this one? So go ahead. Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, quick question for
Chris.
the both of you. No?
Okay.
In terms of production between the self-titled and the Distance Over Time. I'm sure JM you've heard songs from Distance Over Time and
Yes.
the self-titled. Which one do you prefer? Production wise,
Okay.
This is
sound
over.
wise, like all the drums, the guitars, like generally the production. Which do you guys prefer?
Chris, go.
Yeah, I would agree with the Distance over time. I mean, I'm not saying the production was actually the production in the self-titled is very very good. It's just that
Mhm.
Distance over time upped it a bit more.
And also,
okay.
mas maganda na yung tunog ng snare.
Mas balanced.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I listened to it on my phone, on my earphones, on some
Okay
monitor
siya.
speakers. It's I didn't it's all of them were enjoyable experiences. So but for yun nga, when you mentioned the self-titled, the drums, there's you could say something about the drums or here and there, little bit of things. But for me, sa Distance over time, I wouldn't change any part of it.
Okay.
The few songs na pinakinggan ko sa Distance Over Time, I find the production of that far more polished talaga
Yeah.
than the self-titled album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they could have recorded it the same way,
Diba?
mas maganda to.
Sorry,
Siguro,
especially Barstool Warrior. That's just
Diba?
my go-to song for the past
Yeah.
two weeks. That's just every day I listen to it. Hindi ako nagsasawa. It's such a
Diba?
great song.
to be honest, this one I have to place it here because I haven't really listened to it
Okay.
that much,
Okay.
except for the Alien. Kung totoo sila. And
Okay.
the Alien was a resurrection for me in Dream Theater. And Chris might be correct. Chris might be right. I mean, it's his opinion, but I'm leaning towards na they're recycling a lot more talaga from previous songs and also previous years. It's very evident that they're doing it, but let's see. But for me to rank the Astonishing below When Dream and Day Unite says a lot about this album. And this has poor recording and also production.
Yes.
The experience of this one wasn't really that good. Except siguro yung ballad nila yung I forgot nun, ano, Mark yung pangalan nun. A
Gift of
better
Music.
Gift of music.
world,
Our New
bigger
World.
world. Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
I'm a sucker for those simple songs na ano.
Yeah.
Kasi mostly positive, I enjoyed it a lot. Yun siguro yung sabihin ko na lagi ng paulit-ulit for
Oo.
me during that time. Yun lang. Yun na yung paulit-ulit na kanta. So, this is my list. Siguro in ideal day, I might place this here. So, yan, ganyan. Pero, since this is very influential at the moment, this is
Ah.
per bias lang when it comes to systematic chaos. So,
Mm.
that's my take. We all have different takes. You guys do your own. I'm going to place tawag dito, the link for the tier maker, and hope you guys enjoy that part. So, um, I'm really sorry, guys, but let's go ahead and siguro go with the top five. Someone just messaged me, and I have to go then. So
Okay.
let's get our top five songs. We shall continue this one probably on a different term, siguro different time. But let's go ahead and the top five songs in the Dream Theater. I'm sorry to
Top
cut this
five.
one, but 10 o'clock meron akong kailangan gawin ngayon. Yung
Yeah,
last na
sure.
yun.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and start siguro with kay Chris na rin kasi si Mark
Okay.
maganda yung siya, medyo mahuli. Chris,
Okay.
what's your top five?
Okay. Quick top five. Number
Siguro,
five.
and also a bit of explanation na rin, pero wag ganun kahaba. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Mm.
So number five, Glass Prison. I already said it. The intro solo is one of the most difficult, or if not the most difficult Petrucci solo out there.
Mm-mm.
Yun, it's subjective.
Uh-huh.
I have
Okay.
to listen to it.
Di
I'm gonna
ba?
listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number four, 6 o'clock.
Hmm.
Oh,
So
nice.
very,
Nice.
very. I super love that song, especially when driving. When I'm driving, I really love listening to
Oh,
that
wow.
song. Um, Number three. Tama ba? Number three.
Mm.
Um, a nightmare. Nightmare.
Oh, okay.
Super heavy and long but not dragging. Okay, number two, Backs of Angels. I would say on the Backs of Angels. I
Nice.
super duper love the clean part on the intro. It's very, you to me the intro part of on the Backs of Angels is kind of like watching season 1 and 2 of Attack of Titan, where you want to
Yeah.
hear the next part.
Mark has a cover of Attack on Titan OP.
Yeah, I
So,
saw when you posted when you shared his page earlier. I saw it.
yeah.
I'm gonna watch it later.
You
I
guys
gotta check it
should
out.
do a collab.
So anyway,
Yes.
the intro to on the backs and all the subsequent sections, you want to hear the next section. You're super anticipated. And that's how I felt about on the backs of Angels. If
Nice.
only the drums were the same with Distance Over Time, that song would have been super duper,
Yeah.
more, sobrang
Elevated.
ganda. Oo,
Yeah.
sobrang elevated. And the top one is Metropolis Part One. So that's my top one. Those are my top five. So Metropolis Part One speaks for itself. It's the during its time, it's the only thing of its kind. Um,
Nice.
di ba? 1991, you hear all these heavy, but at the same time not heavy, and theatrical elements, and the lyrics. My God, the lyrics. So because
Mm.
recently I've been, the past
Right.
recent 3 years, I've been writing like some songs of my own as a solo artist. So every time I hark back to the lyrics of Metropolis, man, that's just poetry. So not just the instrumentals, but the lyricism also. So that's why that's my top one. There we
Nice.
go.
Okay. Mark,
Nice.
get your top five also.
Okay. My top five is actually based on emotions and different phases of my life. So my top five is Hell's Kitchen because what I
Mm.
told you JM earlier, it's the first song of Dream Theater that I heard, that this majestic outro. At this time wala pa yung mga epics nila eh. So that was my first taste of a majestic instrumental, which is Hell's Kitchen. Number four is Metropolis Part One, because just for the sheer craziness of that song at that specific time.
Yeah.
Man, 1992, it's like technology eh. Parang
Diba?
nagpadala ka ng cellphone sa 1930s eh. Parang that's the impact of Metropolis Part One for me. And of course, number three is Dance of Eternity.
Uh-huh.
Uh, just because of that, the how they took their already technical abilities and even went it further as a band. They were already technical players in their own individual right, but when they collaborated, they made something even greater than themselves. And then, of
Mm-hmm.
course, Spirit carries on because this was the theme song when Portnoy left, and it really
Mm.
spoke to me, and I cried a lot when I watched their live shows. Just the guitar solo alone, naiiyak talaga ako. And then my number one, you guys will not agree to this because you guys spoke about there were some certain issues about the song, but my number one is Octavarium.
Ah.
The
I'm not necessarily going to oppose that.
Ah,
I
yeah, yeah,
enjoy Octavarium, except for the first 7 minutes of that song. No, yeah.
yeah.
I would agree with you with that one, but when I listened to this first 7 minutes, I just especially when I saw the live version,
That's
if you
different. Diba that's
yeah,
different. That's
if you
why I
see
keep on telling people, diba? Watch
yeah,
live.
yeah,
Naiintindihan nyo eh. Go ahead, sorry,
it's
Mark.
really funny how James Labrie was playing keyboards at that part in score. That's
Yes.
that got me. What? James Labrie
Wow.
playing the keyboards in this one?
Mm,
So that made it more interesting in this one. And then of course the finale of Octavarium. It's just this grand epic thing that taas
mm.
balahibo talaga, so to speak. So yeah, those
Yeah.
are my top five.
Nice, nice. I'm going to speed through mine as well. Again, number five would be in the presence of enemies one and two,
Mhm.
just because of those being my current inspirations on writing a sort of story right now.
Okay.
Um, I love the way the parts were broken down, especially on part two. Who wouldn't love the intro ng part one? That was actually one of
Mm.
the craziest intros na narinig ko, kung tutuusin.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's dire-diretso na siya. Hindi na siya tumigil until
Oh.
it needed to stop and also slow down, which is very good. And then it built the way up again with the theme, like you have you have an anti-hero, which is not necessarily a hero in the story. It's more of an
Mm.
anti-hero talaga. And as I mentioned a while ago, this was more inspired by a manga, which is Priest, yung pangalan ng manga.
Mhm.
Aminado si John Petrucci that he did that. So, and also, again, a part of this song was also used in our cover of the Xanarkand Skies Above,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X song. So a lot of influences here of stuff na gusto ko. And also it's a mix of very heavy metal music and also yung yung mga part ng Meshuggah parts that I really enjoyed.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's my number five. Number four is going to be Change of Seasons, especially the live at New
Mm.
York one.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
speaks for itself. Um, paano ko ba i-explain? If there's something that I would like to play while walking around Ayala, this would be my number two. My number one goes
Wow.
to The Odyssey, Symphony X.
Okay,
For some
okay.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also just because of the arrangement of the song, I really love how they arrange it chronologically. There's a story here that people would probably get to relate to when you read the lyrics. Yung
Mhm.
lyrics ang
Definitely.
pinaka-importante part dito. It's not really for us, it's a technicality, how the parts were made, how the odd times were made also, and also yung mga mabibilis na parts. Tawag dito, Darkest of Winter is probably one of the most the heaviest part na na-enjoy ko dito. But when it comes to the lyrics, maganda lyrics nito.
Mhm.
And it touches a lot of
I
bases
agree.
in emotional spectrum, especially the last one, Crimson Sunset.
Yep.
It's really that impactful talaga. And also, depende rin siguro on your day. Sometimes
Just
this list might change for me. Sorry, Chris.
just
Sorry.
just want to add, for me the best version of Seasons is what they when they played it here. in
Hindi
Manila.
ko pa na I wasn't able to watch that,
Oh
unfortunately.
man.
Yeah, 'di ba?
Uh, iyak ako doon, bro.
That
Sorry.
was the encore. That
Sorry.
was the Change of Seasons was the encore,
Oo,
man.
sorry, humagulgol talaga ako doon.
Super
Kasama ko yung
yun.
asawa ko. Iyak
Oh
na
my
iyak ako.
God.
Sabi niya, "Oh, this
'Di ba?
crybaby."
Oo,
Ganyan.
iyak na ako, iyak doon sobra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Grabe.
yeah.
Nice. Number three would be Ergotomania for me.
Nice.
That's a no-brainer. It's the very first Dream Theater song na napakinggan ko.
Mm.
And it really influenced me a lot to follow my love for progressive music because after that, it went nonstop. I listened to bands like OSI. I listened to bands like Liquid Tension Experiment, Shadow Gallery also.
Yun.
And nakalimutan ko yung pangalan ng banda ni Yorn Lande. Meron pa siyang isang band eh. Baka Chris maalala mo. Meron pa siyang isang
Okay.
band.
Wait.
Paborito ni Benedict on Eternal Now. I forgot. Nasaan yung ano ko? But anyway,
Yung
I don't have
project
time.
ni Yornland.
Meron yun eh. Prog din na prog talaga yung banda na yun eh. But
Arc,
anyway,
Arc.
Mark, yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, you have to
Super.
listen to Mark.
I have to
Maganda.
listen to that, yeah.
I listened to that and also
Burn
Symphony
the
X.
Sun. Burn the
Burn the
Sun,
Sun.
man. That album's killer album.
Send ko sa'yo, Mark. And also, ano pa ba? Ano pa ba pinakinggan ko after nun? Sobrang dami na. Transatlantic is also a big favorite of
Transatlantic.
mine.
Yeah.
And Neil Moore's projects. Lahat ng project ni Neil Moore's with and without Portnoy. I enjoyed Spock's Beard. It opened up talaga for me. And I wouldn't have had discovered Eternal Now and also Fusebox if I haven't listened to Ergotomania and also Dream Theater. Kasi doon nagsimula talaga and I got to meet awesome people like Chris and also Ate Abby, Kuya Eric, Chad Robles, a personal friend of mine. All of those people I got to meet just because of my love for progressive music and also because I listened to Erotomania accidentally. So that was a good, and also my favorite album again, number one would be Awake.
Awake.
Yun nga, sinabi ko kanina, Awake. So number two is a very hard, meron akong kailangan ibaksak. So, siguro ilalagay ko number 2 is Metropolis Part 1. And you guys already talked about it. I'm not going to talk about it any further. It was ahead of its time. And also the arrangement of that one, I haven't heard anything as concise. Wala pa akong naririnig from Rush na ganun kahirap eh.
Ka-intricate.
Back then. Oo,
Diba?
wala pa eh. So back then, I really enjoyed the entire INW. It still has some playability and also pinipili ko nga it's either Take the Time or ito, Metropolis. I have to give it to Metropolis Part 1 talaga. And my number 1, I think Mark would agree, is Count of Tuscany at this point. Because it's memorable. Last song with Mike Portnoy. Guitar solo. Awesome. Chris, play mo nga. Guitar. Yung solo nito. The ending
Teka lang,
part of this. Yeah, the ending part of this song was probably one of the most impactful part. Actually, ipapa-project ko nga sa project material yung intro nitong kantan to. You might use it as a sound check. Yung sa copy.
That is a good...
Yeah. Kasi we're playing Final Fantasy songs and this feels like a Final Fantasy song for me.
Diba?
So, yun. And also the lyrics, Mark was right. This was a bit more artsy and also fantasy based. But all of those aside, siguro the emotional aspect of this song, how it was made, siguro, it was, for me, this was probably, for me at this time, the perfect song na gusto kong pakinggan ng paulit-ulit. It has repetitive. Siguro pa, if you look at this, my iPhone, I think it already reached around 700 plays. Out of Tuscany. Ganun ako ka-addict sa kantang yun. And it's also a big part nung ano ko, nung pag-write ko nung characters ko dito sa current story na ginagawa ko. But anyway, that's all I could say about Dream Theater for the moment. We might have another discussion soon, but I'm projecting the next one. I'm not sure if you guys are still interested. I might pitch in the Best of Symphony X sometime soon.
Yes,
if you guys
please.
are interested in that one, we're definitely going to invite you. So I'm going to plug you guys in before we leave. I'm really sorry. Dapat mamaya pa kami matatapos pero naalala ko meron pa nga pala isang commitment. Hindi ko rin alam. Chris, anything going on for you in your channel or any of your
Um,
bands?
I'm playing tomorrow. My
Yeah,
band is playing tomorrow and next
tapos ba yun?
week. So if you're in the area, so tomorrow we're playing in Pasig sa Miguelitos Bar. Yeah, that one.
This one, okay.
Yeah, that one. So that one's in Pasig. And then next week we're playing in Morato area.
The name of the band is
Uh,
Catharsis.
yeah, Chris G's Catharsis.
Who
So
who,
it's
who
my
are your band
solo
members?
project. It's my solo project. So my band members at the moment. So um, Miguel Garde is my guitarist. Um, he was from Yami before.
Mm-mm.
Played with Yami with Bert Ong. Tapos my bassist for this project is James Uy of Seventh Messiah.
James is
Tapos
also a great guitarist, diba? Magaling
yeah,
tumugtog
he
si
is.
James.
He's a guitar player
Yeah.
in their project.
Mm.
And then playing drums for me right now is Tope Domingo, formerly of Dark Crayola.
All-star band.
So
Wow.
yun. So that's it's Chris G's Catharsis because I'm writing the songs. It's my solo project basically. And ayun. So it's my first time to sing as well.
You're
Yeah, so
not
I'm gonna
playing
be
guitars.
I'm playing guitar but I'm also singing uh
Okay. All
onto this
right.
project.
That's
So,
Pucha, nandito kayo
which
sa
wasn't
Archipelago.
planned. I was supposed to have a vocalist, pero some things you just gotta do yourself.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so
There.
that's what's up with me. Yan. So
What is Lesmer?
umalis si Lesmer because he's gonna be based in Batangas soon.
Ah, too bad. Sayang.
So Tope is filling in for me.
Mhm.
So yun.
All right. Nice. Okay.
Well,
Again,
yun.
tomorrow over at Pasig, diba?
Yep.
Let me just go up
Miguelitos.
again. Sorry. Yeah, here.
Yeah, there we go.
So, what time
That's
are you
tomorrow.
guys going to play?
The show starts at 7. We're somewhere in the middle, like maybe
Around
9
11,
p.m. No naman,
11,
mga
10,
9 p.m.
10. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I think you guys are going to enjoy. Just go there. And 150. Hindi pa tumataas, guys. Nanood na kayo. Bira na yung ganito.
So
Okay.
mga metal tsaka punk bands yung kasabay namin doon. So, kasi yung mga material ko is quite variety. Merong ballad, merong mabigat. So, for tomorrow setlist, medyo mabigat yung setlist namin. For next week, medyo variety yung prod. So, not as heavy songs. So, there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, check out Chris G's page. Marami kayo makikitang updates doon. And I think he also accept tutorials, diba? I mean,
Yes.
tuturo ka din ng gitara. So,
Yep.
yeah, if you guys are interested in learning how to be either, let's say, John Petrucci or Michael Romeo,
Hirap yan.
go ahead and PM Chris Gomez and Chris G. So, Mark, parang hindi ka
Yeah.
masyado active ngayon, but what's going on your page or anything that you're
Yeah.
going?
Well, yeah. Essentially, I'm just going through. Um, I'm planning a lot of filmmaking stuff in terms of doing like portrait videos. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the filmmaker Ox Out. He's a Japanese filmmaker. He does portrait videos around Japan. So most probably I'll be doing that same thing in the near future. That's with my filmmaking journey. Musically though, I will continue to do some covers, and then I do have a band now. It's not a prog band. It's more like more of an
Rock.
angels and airwaves slash Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
The name of my band is Shutdown Villains. We'll be playing at I'm not sure of the date yet, but we'll be playing the last day of ToyCon in Mega Mall.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Nice.
So yeah. Oh yeah. So that
Sali pa
would
naman kami,
be I think
sir.
then afternoon. Afternoon ata. I'm not
Saan
sure
ka
of the
That's
nag-apply?
date
great.
though yet.
That's
Saan
great.
kayo nag-apply? You really wanted to play in Toycon again? I mean,
Um, I'm not sure kasi yung basis namin is the road manager for Soap Dish. So
okay.
he has these contacts and whatnot. It's really amazing how he gets these contacts.
Nawala na yung contact
I'm
namin
very
within Toycon. Sayang. But anyway,
okay.
I'm going to see you there because I am going to Toycon. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sure that's going to be a Sunday that will be playing.
Mm, it
I'm
is going to be
not
Sunday.
sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sunday evening yan, malamang. Or late
Sunday
afternoon.
evening. Yeah.
Kita-kita na lang tayo
So,
dun.
oo.
Ayan.
Kita-kita na
Okay.
lang. So yeah, essentially that's it. I'll just be continuing doing covers of the songs I love. I can't cover any Dream Theater songs though. Hindi ako
It's
kasing
fine.
galing ni Chris. Grabe. Grabe. I was just watching yung mga videos ni Chris. Grabe. Sobra.
Mm.
Iba.
I
Ibang
mean,
level.
30 years of playing kung
Oh, man.
playing for so long. So my age is revealed.
Grabe.
Yun naman. Chris also played for us before. Nag-fill-in siya dahil wala kaming gitarista. Wala kaming
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Kevin Conanan had to play
Bass.
bass. Just to give you a context on how great Chris was, one day preparation yung ginawa niya dun sa set namin. Hindi pa nga kami nag-jam with Chris.
Diretso sa gig
But-
na yun eh.
Kaya sa gig na, but we still enjoyed the gig. Dahil,
No,
ewan
but
ko,
to be fair, they gave me complete materials to work with.
Oh,
And
okay.
that I had something to work with. That's
Mm.
why I was able to. But without the materials, of course, that would be
Mahirapan
an
ka.
impossible feat for me. So
But at least we enjoyed that. I mean, that's one of the better gigs na meron din yung material. Just because Chris was there and we love the solos na ginawa niya, especially din sa isang kanta namin, which is, I think, Decisive Battle. Yeah, again, do visit Mark's page also. Awesome stuff going on here. Let's all also meet each other again in Toycon. Siguro I'm going to plug in my band, which is Project Materia. It's not really
balik
great
na kayo.
pa-practice pa lang kami. So we primarily focus on playing Final Fantasy stuff at this point. Some anime, but
That's
mostly
nice.
Final Fantasy. Yeah, we played in Ateneo before. Sobrang enjoy ko. Yeah, dapat babalik na kami pero biglang nag-back out ng rehearsal dahil,
Okay.
dahil tatlo sa amin hindi pwede. Hopefully,
Yun lang.
time soon. Kumanta din kami ng Bakit Ngayon Ka Lang. Some reason.
Panis.
So we're big fans of Nobuo Uematsu. Si Chad is actually a big Final Fantasy fan, and also kung hindi dahil sa kanya din ni Joel, baka hindi namin nakuha yung music namin. I thank both of them, and also it's Joel Matibag's birthday today.
Happy birthday,
And
Joel.
Happy birthday to him. Ito yung pinaka-last na performance namin kung tutusin na we rock the stage with Gayla, former vocalist of Fusebox. Yeah. So that's
si Gayla.
si Gayla.
Nice.
And alam mo kung sino judge nito? Ucho Sentai Noise Pre.
Wow.
Yep.
Really?
Ucho Sentai Noise yung ano nito. Yung
Wow.
nag-judge nito.
Nice. They came here. They came in.
They came here. Libre
Nice.
yung gig nila.
Nice.
And sa tingin ko, nag-rise above kami because we played classic songs. We didn't play yung mga bago. We played something from Makoto no Ken and also Saint Seiya,
Saint
which
Seiya.
extended solo ng Saint
Oh
Seiya
my
ginawa
God.
namin because of
Mhm.
fantasy. So,
Wow.
I think that's all for me when it comes to 0 hour discussions. I'm still not I don't know what's
Magpa-prod
gonna
ka na
go.
ulit.
No, si Kuya Eric, hindi ako. Depende kay Kuya Eric eh. It depends on his
Okay.
time. Probably we might do something in the future. We might invite both of these two fine gentlemen to play.
Let's go.
Again, progressive Philippine progressive community is also always open to people who would like to advertise their music regardless of genre. Kaya lang naman naging progressive community kasi we made a foundation na panay prog muna yung inano namin before. Sinusupport namin before. But now, we support all kinds of genres, including prog, pop, and also world music for the most part. So marami kayong makikita doon. So I think that's it for me also. And again, I have to thank both you guys and gentlemen. We've almost had 3 hours kung tutusin. And I'm really
Yeah.
sorry that I have to bounce because meron pa pala ako isang commitment. We will be talking about the multiverse of madness over there, and
Ah,
let's see how that goes. So, on behalf of Mark and also Chris, this is JM over 0 Hour Discussions. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll
good
talk to you
night.
soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.